night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 251 miles above your imagination up here in the International Fake Station. I'm in this IT nightmare of a heist trailer with my good friend and co-pilot Something Wong, who is here to make sure that we fly straight and level across the beautiful plane that we exist on in this realm. Holy cow, look at all the people I've got here. We're going to go over a debate with Flatzoid and what's it? Fight the Flat Earth. Craig and Marcus from the Apollo Busters or Apollo Detectives is over. Was Flatzoid's partner. Anyway, I'm a little bit. Got a nice little buzz, and I'm rolling along here. We got things going on. What's happening? We got Effed Up the World is in the house tonight. We got Jehovah's daughter Barbara. Saddlebum is here. We have a poll up in the chat of who do you think is going to win the presidential selection process that's coming up here in just a few short days. The choices are, of course, Donald John Trump, Kamala Harris, or the international banksters. So make your choice. Make sure you vote in the poll. As always, we have the link pinned up in the chat so that if anybody wants to come on here, come on up. As long as you have conversational decorum, you haven't been drinking too much. That's another kind of thing too. I'm not real happy when people come out here half snookered like that. I just got a real thing with anyway. Who else we got? Jehovah's lovely daughter Barbara's with us tonight. We got Daniel Watkins, Mr. Tahiti. I like the way you spelled that. Never try. You like the never trust anyone? Yeah, I know. I love that thing. It was like, there you go. That's the best lesson. That's a life lesson. Daniel Watkins, half warrior. What's happening? Eldon Beans here with us tonight. Roger Ledra. What did he say? Rogelio. Oh, what the fuck did he say? His last name was that thing, Rogelio Rodriguez or some shit like that. It's like Speedy Gonzalez. It sounded like to me. Anyway, we've got Rogelio Gonzalez. My name is Rogelio Martinez Consuelo Gonzalez. Anyway, let's see. Who else I got up in his house here tonight? What's going on? Awakened Nemesis is with us. ZXL Master is always good to see you, my man. Nikki Duncan in the house. Michael Simard. What do we got there? A diamond, a muscle, and a goat. All right, cool. This is what's going on. We're gonna have we're melding over into hieroglyphics again. I'm noticing this. It's wouldn't it be something, man? They go in there and see, like, we've uncovered the love letters of King Tut on Ankaman, and they unscroll it, and it's little fucking eggplant emojis and all kinds of shit on there. It's like, what? This is some dirty shit he was writing to this old lady, right? It'd be funny. Anyway, we don't need no stinking batches. That's correct, Roger. Rogelio. I love the beginning of the show. Solve that dance. Oh, the no dance. Yeah. Well, we got Craig coming on, and just want to have that out there. You know what I'm saying? So recently, and a couple of nights ago, we did a review about the first half of the Modern Day Debate show with Flatzoid's perspective with Marcus Allen from the Apollo Detectives. Both great channels, Flatzoid Perspective and the Apollo Detectives. I'll see if I can get a link into the chat for people too. I spaced out and didn't do it. Sorry, man. There's a little search bar up there y'all can use. All right. Okay. So anyway, it was against Fight the Flat Earth, Craig, and he was with a fella named Darryl. And I think in the second half, you're going to like it because I think Darryl, he kind of gets it handed to him a little bit. And he needs that. All he did was just bitch about, where's the math? Where's the math? And it's like, you don't need math. This is a physical law, dipshit. And anyway, let me see if I can grab that real quick. Oh, I already have it up. Nice. I do want to do this, though, real quick. So I'm right where we left off. I'll back it up from about 1 minute or so, just so that we got it. There we go. 2 minutes. I'll go back 2 minutes from where we were as we watched it before. And action. And turn the volume up too. Yeah, there we go.
And Marcus, they say, what is there to gain for non-affiliated groups?
Good point. Very good question. A lot of people believe it was for real. I was one of those people because you can tell I'm old enough to have been around when it actually happened. Back in July 1969, July the 20th. I stayed up till 3:30 in the morning in London watching it on my little black and white television. I was transfixed by it. It was wonderful. They'd finally got there. They'd done it. I had no reason to believe that it wasn't for real. We'd seen a lot of publicity from all the major publications in America, Life magazine, National Geographic. They were featuring the astronauts. They were world famous people. How many?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure. That's how you can tell that it's real. Is that glitching? See, because it looks so fake, and it has to be real, right? Whoops.
Of the Apollo, how many of the modern day astronauts can you actually name? If you're interested, you probably can. But these people were on the cover of Life magazine, Look magazine, National Geographic magazine. Their family life was being dissected because people were interested in what these heroes were going to be doing. Where did they come from? Who were they? So we believed it. I believed it. I have no reservation in saying so. It was only about 20 years later when things started to become a little bit more unemotional, because it was a very emotional time.
Now I want to hit on that because it was, man. People were absolutely astonished at this. And this was really pushed into the public hard too. And products and things, touting that it was shit that the astronauts liked. Their product was something that the astronauts liked. Tang instant breakfast drink mix. That was another one, some kind of a chemical orange flavored concoction that they supposedly formulated for the astronauts so that because weight of stuff is a concern. So by taking up this instant breakfast drink, which of course needs to be mixed with water, which is kind of heavy and adds to the weight, but I digress. They were pushing all that shit. And even up off after 11, even after Apollo 11, they had, I think it was Tang. They had a little miniature that was like cellophaned onto the side of the Tang container of the lunar rover. And man, that made every fucking kid want that shit. I begged my mom for it. She goes, that shit ain't nothing but chemicals. We ain't getting that. I was like really bummed. But I was like, but the astronauts drink it, Mom. And they're like, she goes, I don't give a shit if Jesus drinks it. We ain't buying it. That's how she was too, man. Anyway.
Don't forget the context of it all, the Vietnam War and all that. It's very emotional.
Yeah, it was all political.
It was very political. You're quite right. So by the time things had calmed down, and one could say, okay, well, let's have a look at some of these photographs. They weren't easily available. I first started looking at the Apollo photographs in the early 1990s. I had to go out and buy a set of postcards to find out what they looked like, because only a few had ever been published. Maybe 30 or 40 had been published. When I discovered there were 5,771 taken on the lunar surface, I thought, let's have a look at them all, see what they're like.
And I'll tell you what, man, this was one of the biggest sellers. We used to have this thing back in the day. It was called a viewfinder or a viewmaster. And what it was a stereoptic viewer. And you could buy these little circular cartridges. They sold them everywhere, man. If you went to vacation someplace and you was at the Grand Canyon or wherever the hell you was, they sold Viewmaster slide reels and you could buy these things. And the Apollo one, man, I couldn't wait to get that one. It was just so stunning because it was like in 3D. So it was really an experience, and you're like completely shut out from the world looking at this 3D image through this Viewmaster. That was really a hot seller. I was really glad when I got mine. I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I spent hours looking at that.
And that's when I started looking at the websites. I use the Lunar and Planetary Institute website as being most easy for me to use. But there are other websites that you can go to see every single photograph taken allegedly on the lunar surface. And the more I looked, I was trained as a photographer. I know what photographs can and cannot do. They're two-dimensional objects of three-dimensional subjects. You have to take that into account. So when I started looking at these series of pictures, they're called contact sheets, where you've got the whole film magazine, don't forget film magazine, printed in sequence. So you could look at them and see what the photographer was trying to achieve in that particular occasion.
I do want to jump forward to, given that question was more about the alleged conspiracy behind all these different organizations, I want to jump to the next one. This one from Guy with Bearded Lizard. Let's see.
Hey.
What?
He obviously knows it.
Just recognize him as just saying hello.
Okay. Let's see. He says, I don't agree with the hoax side. I'll just abbreviate it. That's the abridged version. LJ says, Darryl, what's your background? CGI and not a... Oh, they say, Darryl, why is your background CGI and not a real photo? I think they're trying to say that the Earth is flat and this is a cartoon ball in the background.
Glad you asked that. I actually keep this picture to show how stupid and delusional flat earthers are, dishonest flat earthers are. Because if I have a real picture up, they say it's fake anyway. Just deny it and say NASA lies, it's fake. And then when I have a picture that somebody made on Photoshop or whatever, then they ask me why I don't have a real one. So that's obviously either dishonest or delusional, and that's why I keep it, because it's amusing to see you all react to that photo in such a dishonest way or a stupid way, whichever way it is.
So if I were to put a picture of Superman flying through the sky is my background, would that mean that the guy in the Superman costume is really flying through the sky? Would that mean that? I mean, hell, we all went to the movies and saw it on right there. There he was flying around, stopping airplanes, grabbing people up and flying away with them and shit, right? Saw it on film, right? Come on, y'all.
Juicy. This one coming in from Ryan Beecham says, 4. Flatzoid, what hobbies will you take up once flat Earth gets disintegrated by Will Duffy's Antarctica experiment?
Oh my God, I forgot about that one. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of hopeful fools. There really are a lot of hopeful fools. There were the same kind of hopeful fools that were saying the same type of shit when Greater Sapien and the rest of them were supposed to take that flight. Remember that flight that never took place, the one that they found out that they can't do. Remember? Yeah, it's just a rehash. These people, they really want something that it's not. They really want the world to be something that it's not very badly. And I don't understand what it is. It has to be pride. And it comes from, like what I said, they were told they were smart for believing that dumb shit. And I think it really stems from that. People are told some stupid shit. They regurgitate it back, and authority tells them, wow, you're really smart. Look at you. You know all this stuff. And they're like, and then I think as an adult, when you point it out that it's, look, this is fucking stupid as shit. It doesn't work. And they're like, no, you're taking away my smart.
Okay, first of all, Will Duffy is not an experiment, is a false dichotomy. Secondly, you first have to disprove all the other observations that do disprove a globe to say that what's going to happen in the sun is going to disprove it. Thirdly, I've done literally a demonstration about 3 nights ago showing how we can have 24-hour sun in Antarctica. So it's not really anything other than Will Duffy wasting money. No other thing to say.
I'd love to review that.
LJ says, why isn't spacesuits tech used for firefighters?
That's a damn good question. It's supposed to be able to stand up against all this heat and everything else, right? Why? And you know, they have to go into smoke-filled rooms and get these people out, right? Come on.
Because they're not designed to fight fires. They have stuff designed to fight fires that they wear instead.
This one from this one from DJ Moss.
That was really a stupid answer, Craig. That was really a really stupid fucking answer. And he generally only does that when he doesn't have anything. That's why. Another thing he does when he don't have nothing too is he'll say a bunch of bullshit and then he'll go next at the end of it. And it's like, no, not next. You didn't address what I was talking about, you fucktard. Anyway.
Says, could moon landing deniers explain why RF signal delay is the same kind as using lasers? And just saying without positive support isn't enough.
I already rebutted this saying it could just be any kind of rock that gives a reflective surface for that to happen. Like you're saying, they were actually doing these tests in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing them long before they supposedly put reflectors on there. The issue is not just making us try and prove something that you guys made the claim that the reflectors are there. First prove that it's there before you claim people need to replace your burden of proof.
And also another point to do with the laser reflectors. There are, I believe, something like 10 different locations for the Apollo 11 laser reflector that are provided by NASA and various organizations who should know what they're talking about. some of them are up to 20 kilometers different. Surely they know where it landed. I mean, you had Michael Collins circling the moon in his command module. Didn't he take any pictures of where his mates were?
Yeah, that's another thing too. No, he didn't do any of that. And for that thing to come up and dock with an object going the speed of a bullet is some of the dumbest shit. I mean, wow. People that believe that dumb shit are the very people that believe that that guy actually photographed a bullet going by Trump's head. They are the people that actually believe that fucking nonsense. They'll believe that shit too. They don't think about it. They don't think about anything. They just go by what they're told and their perception of the people that told the shit to them. It's it.
Where Neil and Buzz were, and you could then identify precisely where it was. Now, the Mythbusters program demonstrated, rather inconclusively in my opinion, the use of a laser to reflect off the lunar surface. It was actually not real. That program wasn't real. It was conducted, I believe, at the Apache Point Observatory lunar landing operation, Apollo. That makes. So guess what they were trying to do? Prove Apollo was real.
Yeah,
By
VFX,
laser.
using VFX.
Yeah,
They were using VFX to try prove something to be real by proving then it was just VFX.
yeah. And there they are. There, Jamie and what's his name were watching the monitor, and suddenly they see a little spike. What does that prove? You've got to use a reflecting dish to absorb the returning photons, which take up to 8 hours to generate sufficient power for any signal to exist. And don't forget, the moon is rotating, the Earth is spinning, so you've got to have all the necessary equipment to.
And they're both in orbits. Okay, so the moon is supposedly turning. You got the Earth is rotating, and it's doing an orbit around the sun. All of that nonsense is going around the sun. Do you start to see problems here?
To move and to drive your reflector,
Brad and Tasha,
receiving dishes. Did that exist? No, it was a television program. It was entertainment, and they were there to demonstrate that the laser reflectors were producing a result. Well, anybody can do that on television. It's not difficult. It's called special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one thing that hasn't been mentioned, talking of special effects, a lot of the films that we see for Apollo were created using an optical printer. Now, anybody who's worked in film will know what an optical printer is. It does what a photocopier does with paper. It duplicates it as many times as you like. An optical printer will duplicate a film. It will remove frames, 1 frame, 2 frames, 3 frames. So if you shoot at high speed, you can get it back down to normal speed when you project it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science. It's the way it was done. Probably at Lookout Mountain Laboratory in Laurel Canyon, north of Los Angeles, where a lot of this was done.
A lot of shit about Laurel Canyon, man. A lot of shit about that. We're gonna have to get doing some diving into that. Some crazy shit.
Special effects.
They still
They
do
knew what
today.
to do.
They still
Say
do
again?
today. They still use that today with the layering when they try and actually use a mirror these days, where they actually mirror a object in the mirror and then it reflects onto another and then it looks like it's laid on top of each other. They
Yeah.
still do that today.
Yeah, it's the same principle. It's duplicating pieces of film. You can create any speed you like. So to say that it was at lunar gravity speed, well, you'd think NASA would know what lunar gravity was by now, 1.6 meters per second, compared to Earth gravity, 9.8 meters per second squared.
This is a good opportunity.
Of course they could make it look like lunar gravity.
Uh-huh.
We'll jump to the next
That's not rocket science, that's optics.
This question coming in from LJ said, Globeside is only here to argue. Is NASA your god?
Ooh.
No,
Darryl, are you
NASA is not
worshiping?
my God.
Sorry for interrupting.
So
Bob.
I do have a slight affiliation with NASA though that I'm proud of, but it's very slight. I was a part of the NASA Community College Aerospace Scholars program. That's the project manager of our little project, and we won a little contest where we had to design a mock mission to either Mars or the Moon. We chose the Moon, and we had NASA scientists working with us. We had a mentor from NASA that I got to know, and it was pretty fun. And
He paid money to role play in something that's not real. I wonder if they had a course in Dungeons and Dragons too.
I was able to see some of the technology they're working on to get us to the moon, so it's pretty cool.
I'm glad you liked it. Of course, NASA would prove they got to the moon. That's their raison d'etre.
No. Let me be clear. What I'm saying is they plan on going back to the moon with the Artemis program. So part of the program was we were actually hearing from NASA scientists, and they were talking about what they're working on. For instance, the devices they're going to use to take the regolith from the moon and extract minerals from that, like oxygen and
Yeah, but wasn't Artemis already supposed to fucking go by now? Wasn't they supposed to already go? This is supposed to have already happened. Again, they keep kicking the can down the road, and this dumb fucker can't figure that out. He ain't been around long enough. I've been around a long time. I've been around since the fucking first Apollo mission going up there, man. And let me tell you something. They've been just fucking pumping sunshine up everybody's ass and kicking the can down the road that whole time, man. Well over 50 years. Come on. These people ain't fucking doing nothing. And you mean the best they can do now is they go up there floating around in some kind of a nightmare goddamn house trailer? What, growing tomatoes upside down? Big fucking deal, man. How have you, all that, how have you benefited mankind at all? How has that benefited any of us? Nothing. It hasn't done shit. Okay. So it's just a thing to keep your brain going on this stupid fucking treadmill.
hydrogen and so forth. So in other words, this is technology that they're working on for the upcoming moon mission that I was able to see and talk to the scientists that's getting that together.
This one coming in
maybe
from
It's compartmentalization.
Maybe you should show him my bit of moon rock. Remember about 25 years ago, all the NASA moon rocks were stolen. Somebody walked in, took the filing cabinet in which they were then stored, put it in the back of his pickup truck and drove off. All 840 pounds of it, 243 kilos. It's quite a lot. Not
This
all
one.
of it was returned. Maybe this is one of them. I don't know. Is
Bob.
it moon rock? It looks like moon rock. Could be moon rock. If I say it's moon rock, as far as I'm concerned, it's moon rock. You'd
You got
disagree with me.
It's moon rock. Bob says, is it possible? Says, is it possible Zoid knows we landed on the moon, but argues we didn't just to troll? It's possible, so likely to be true.
No,
I think this is
definitely
because
not.
earlier in the debate, I think that there was at one point there was the idea that someone conceded something's possible and said thus it's likely to be true. I think Flatzoid that you did, and I think they're trying to use their own reasoning against you.
No, I would say it's not possible because it goes against everything I believe. So
Just to point out what Marcus Allen said there about the moon rocks being stolen was a complete lie. That never happened.
Oh, if you say so, but I've seen the report saying it did happen. But obviously, I bow to your.
Never happened the most.
Interrupting me. Oh, for Christ's sake. Give up.
like the military personnel in the
We'll
vacuum chamber, it never happened. Yeah.
Let's Marcus.
Show the bit where they leave 42.
Let's give Marcus a chance to finish the sentence he was on. He said that he had read it online. Presumably, it wasn't like at Flatzoid's website. It was somewhere else you read it. We'll give you a chance, Marcus. Or was it at Flatzoid's? Flatzoid's not. Go ahead, Marcus. We'll give you a chance.
I forget the website or the report it actually was, but somebody did go to prison for doing it. So I don't think he'd go to prison if it didn't happen.
It never happened. Yeah, no, he's just talking nonsense. It never happened.
Okay, now let's just say one thing here. You obviously believe that NASA is your god, and everything that NASA says is true. Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking.
Things
Stop
don't
it.
seem.
Let's give Marcus a chance.
Look, I'm British, and I tend to be a little bit polite sometimes.
Yes,
And I also get, you see, he's done it again.
All right, flat Earth, or
You
fight the
just
flat Earth.
have.
So check this out. Here's Craig. He's a dumb fuck. It says right here from a Wikipedia, it says theft of NASA rocks in June of 2002, 101 grams of moon rocks were stolen from the Johnson Space Center by interns Thad Roberts and Tiffany Fowler. The pair used knowledge of the security around the rocks gained during their internship to remove a 272 kilogram safe in Building 31 containing the samples. So all I did was just go in my search and type in moon rock stolen. Boom. That's the first fucking thing that came up. Craig is just he's just an insane fucking retard, man. Somebody needs to lock that retard up, man. I'm telling you right now, he's a dangerous fuck.
You have to learn a little bit of manners. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's just decency and human interaction. So, I forgot what I was talking about now. I got so excited about that.
I know that you had mentioned someone was put in prison, but I think so. Fight the Flat Earth. I think you're saying because Fight the Flat Earth was objecting. You said, but wait a minute, there was somebody that went to prison over this. Fight the Flat Earth. Do you want to respond? I'm asking you to unmute now.
Yeah, no, there's just no evidence of that ever happening.
I actually have the names. I actually have the names if you want to know.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Roberts, McQuarter, and Fowler. 3 people charged with killing. Dinosaur, what? No, that's dinosaur buds. Never mind, I got the wrong one. Oh, wait. There, Roberts, Thad Roberts.
That's right, Ted Roberts.
Thad Roberts, there we go. That's the right one.
Yep.
This one from DC and...
So right there, in the time they was arguing about it, I was able to get it. I'm sure that's exactly what Flatzoid was doing at that exact same time, you know, although it's recorded. And there I find it right away. I put the link in the chat so that y'all can see for yourself. You know, once again, little turd dollop head is fucking wrong, you know?
DCA and DC says, I'm convinced by the argument that, quote, too many people were involved for it to be a hoax, unquote. Does anyone want to address this argument? I think
I can hit this one hard, man. Compartmentalization. Hear people all the time. My uncle worked on a satellite. Okay. So what? Once he worked on his part for it, did he accompany the satellite into space or anything, or even to the fucking rocket center or wherever else? You don't know any of that, do you? You did these people, and that's what I'm getting at. These people, and they're just making shit. I mean, there's all kinds of shit that I worked on before and designed, and you know, saw it get built in our fabrication shop, and it went on rail, and I don't know whatever happened to it, or even if it was ever fucking used. It wasn't my problem. So, you know, I was a small compartment of a bigger picture, you know, and just like everyone in NASA or any of these things, right? They're all just a small part of the fucking machine. You know, my father was a tool and die maker for General Motors. Does that mean that he knew what the fucking heads of General Motors were planning or designing or coming up with, or what business strategies they were doing? No. All he did was take something from engineering and make a die to produce that fucking part. That's all. So he had nothing to do with the end fucking product of it and what happened to it. He made the say the fenders for a Ford or whatever. Does that mean he knows where all those Fords went to, or that people actually bought them, or any other such nonsense? No, he doesn't. All he knows is his small part in the machine. This is how the Manhattan Project was kept secret. Compartmentalization.
I think maybe they're saying, like, what are the odds they have so many people and there are no whistleblowers?
Shark fin.
It's mostly based on compartmentalization. So just like Darryl here, he went and he was in a program. He believes what he's doing is true. He believes it's working. You understand? Remember, there's a lot of how I'm sorry to say it, scams work is a lot of promises, and you're working for those promises and you don't get the payout of those promises. This is why no one's gone, quote unquote, back to the moon in 50 years, because they keep on having to delay it because they haven't figured out how to do that in the first place. So it's easy to get people to believe they're going to get there once they've been there, but no one's been there in the first place. It's not hard to
I believe I
understand.
should be able to respond to that. So, two things. First of all, you talk about scams. When you're a plain liar, when you lied and deceived people with red rhetoric video, when you took the frames out that video, you was even on this channel trying to argue you only took 4 frames out. When you took out, they were saying you took out 11. You said you took out 4.
I can show you the video with all the frames. Now, and secondly, why are you trying to?
I was talking. I let you talk. I was responding.
No,
Let's
you are attacking my character.
I'll let you talk.
I want to give
Attacking my-
I
Darryl
was
a
responding.
chance to
I'll let you
finish
talk.
his-
See, this has nothing to do with the argument at hand. He's just wanting to blow into this thing. And now watch Darryl's face when he sees everything in context. Oops.
sentence.
He's
Let's give
attacking my
Darryl a
character.
chance to finish.
This isn't right.
We're
He's
going to
attacking
give
my
you a
character.
chance. We're going to give you a chance.
Yeah, you call it a shark fin. I call it like a turd dollop because it's like, like when your butthole pinches off the turd, it makes that little point on the end, like you see outside with the dog shit. It's got that little point on the end of it. It looks like where the butthole pinched him off at before he dropped. That's his little turd dollop. That's where that come from when he got shit out.
Chance to respond.
You are
If you want to just let Darryl finish his, give you maybe 30 seconds, and then it sounds like Flatsoid is burning to respond.
So it's confirmed that you're a liar and a deceiver. Not right, because you took those frames out that video and talking about attacking character. You're talking about NASA people who some of them I know they're honest, and you're attacking my character saying I was tricked. So the second thing is,
I know them personally. I was at some Diddy parties with him.
why don't you let us know exactly? You told me exactly how it was set up and what deception or compartmentalization was there specifically in my program. Let us know how that compartmentalization was set up and so forth.
Ready for
Specifically, and what I was doing and who I was talking to.
I'll give you a full minute or so, Flatsoid, to respond.
Okay, first of all, did you notice he attacked my personality, my character, after just saying this is what NASA unfortunately does? It's based on compartmentalization. I was just using you as a example because you went through a program that showed that. Now he's trying to attack a lie because I can show you the video now where all the frames are in the video. The difference is I'm not the one attacking someone's character here. You are. That shows you to be the one wrong. And yes, it's sad to say they are scamming people because they're making you believe you're going to a place that you can't go to.
Give us specifically what the compartmentalization was, what the trickery was, where I was fooled and that.
So what you want a list of every bit of the hierarchy of a fucking corporation? Darryl, you're a fucking idiot. If you don't understand the fact that every company works on compartmentalization, do you think the fucking cashier at Walmart knows what the fuck the stockman is ordering? No. But the manager does, because he's above each one of those things, right? But the cashier don't know what the people stocking the shelves are doing. The people sweeping the floor don't give a fuck what the people that are doing the cashiering. I mean, does he not understand how anything works? And he wants, can you give me the exact compartmentalization of it? No, that's just his way of shutting things up. This is because he's a very poor debater and he's not very intelligent. He's able to articulate words very well, and I think that's about all he has right there.
Program and how you lie. Tell me specifically where I was tricked there.
Very simple. Just like when the people built the Apollo rockets.
No.
A
You were talking about
company,
me and
you
my
want me
program.
to answer, now you talk over me.
You're not
Just
answering.
like
You're
the
talking
same-
about something else. Tell
Why
me
is he
about
talk-
where I was
Okay,
tricked and
Darryl.
compartmentalized
Darryl,
of what
have
you
some,
said.
have some human
Give
dignity.
a full
Talk
60 seconds
respect.
to Flatsoid. Go ahead. You got 60 seconds,
Thank
Flatsoid.
you. So thanks, James. Okay, so just like when Apollo were building the rocket, they commissioned people to paint the bolt.
Now you see Daryl's how he's his posturing, how he's got his eyebrows up like that. That's a defense. That's a defense. Like, okay, let's hear what you got to say about it. Okay, he's not really wanting to be able to let Flatsoid talk. That's why he kept interrupting. But as soon as James muted him and said, I'm going to give Flatsoid so much time to be able to answer, that's when he adopted that little pose.
To put the chair in, to do the module, to do that. They getting paid for it. Why would they believe they're not going to the place that they're getting paid for? That's called compartmentalization. Just like you're getting someone who's pressing a button. I pressed the button, so therefore they went to the moon. It's the same as when you just got won that competition you said, and you've done a simulation now, and you heard about technology they are working on to get people to moon. There's a reason why they haven't been to the moon, quote unquote, for over 50 years. I don't know how to break it to you, but it's just how it works. You can't just trust anybody just because they say you're going there. This is the real life, man.
Yeah. And just one point on compartmentalization. It's a military activity that is basically, it means you know enough to do your own job, and you don't need to know anything else.
Ours is not to wonder why. Ours is just to do or die. I'm sure many of you have heard this before. Ours is not to wonder why. Ours is just to do or die. Okay. It's in other words, it don't fucking matter why the general wants you to go around this pass. That's not your concern. Just do it. And that's how any operation like that works. What's going on, Cool World?
Oh, not much. I was just eating popcorn, sitting back and relaxing. This is a good show.
This is. But this guy here, I don't know. I'd never seen him before. Tell you the truth, that's the first time I've ever seen him. The only reason I knew or even bothered with it really was because Flatsoid was on. Flatsoid's my friend, so I wanted to check this out. But most of the time, anything with Tune or FTFE, I don't even fucking watch, man. I can't stand those guys, man. It's
hard to watch. Yeah,
it is. And it's like, how many times can I hear them say the same stupid shit over and over and over? You know, and it's like, you know, you've been debunked on that shit. Every one of the points that you keep bringing up in every debate, you get them smacked down the same way, and you keep coming back. You're like the stupid kid that won't stay on the mat, you know. But like, I was watching the thing. Did you see Flat Out Truth's video he put out today? I think it was from Robot Polisher. Had some shit on it too. And there's these people on there talking, and this one girl, I heard her say, she goes about fight the flat earth. She goes, I'm not even a flat earther, but I'm headed toward flat earth just because of Craig. She goes, that guy he tries to act like he's really smart, and he's not. And I'm like, man, and how long ago did I say that? Fuck, over a year or so ago. I said, man, every time these dumbasses talk, they create flat earthers. I love it, man.
I agree. It's hard to watch them, man. It really is. And most people find them obnoxious. He actually did an interview with Jim Brewer, and he's trying to.
I know.
That was horrible, dude.
Yeah,
he did.
I saw little clips of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I couldn't find it. Is it only on Rumble?
Oh, it's Robot Polisher. But I mean,
I saw that on Robot Polisher, but I didn't see I don't think there was actually an interview. I think that he was just mentioning that. I don't know, you know. And
Craig had him on
his put together.
Craig had him on his channel, and McToon
Oh,
had him on his channel. Yeah. So they went and brought him over and they gave him the rundown because David Weiss did an interview with him earlier.
Yeah, I remember. I saw David Weiss on there.
So they
I saw
think he's.
David.
They're saying David's scamming people, so they're trying to convince Jim that he's a scam artist. So.
Jim wasn't having it. Nobody's having it. That's the whole thing. And like I said, they can't. There's nothing they can do to stop this. Their whole little fucking bullshit shit show that they've got set up is backfiring in their face because from what I've seen, the majority of flat earthers are going, we don't give a fuck what happens down in Antarctica. You got a lot of other obstacles to have to go over other than what the sun does. You know, I mean, there's this lack of curvature that seems to be a big problem. You know, I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. Well, I'm going to let this play a minute and then I'm going to hit this bomb. Yeah, man.
As long as you do your own job properly, you're fine.
Were you ever military?
Say again?
Were you ever military? Just out of interest.
Yes, because the US Air Force was brought in after the Apollo 1 disaster to get the program back on track. And they introduced the compartmentalization to ensure that people concentrated on what they needed to do. That's all they needed to do. As far as it being a hoax, these people were not hoaxing anything. They were doing the very best job they could. They were building the best rockets, the best landers, the best control systems, the best everything. They were very proud to be part of this program. They were not part of any hoax. So let's get away from that. The maybe 5 million people involved, they were not part of anything. They were true patriotic Americans. And we should be very proud of what they've achieved because a great deal came out of that program. It was basically a program initiated by the US government to spread money as far as possible across America in order that more people would be employed, more work could be done, more technology would be developed. And that was a very noble program to achieve. And they did it. Things came out of the work that was being done. One of the things that did not come out of that program was landing humans on the lunar surface. Now, if you choose to believe they did, that's entirely your prerogative.
Another problem with that whole landing, each one of those missions, they went up there and they had a same type of little craft that they landed with. The only time one was ever tested on Earth, I think it was Neil Armstrong was flying it. And the flight didn't last no more than 5 or 10 seconds before he had to eject off of that fucking thing because it crashed. It was unstable. The exact same problems happened with that I said would happen with the rocket coming down with the chopsticks catching it. The exact same thing.
That's funny.
What?
Did you hear me?
No.
No, I just said I agree with you. That was a funny thing. It was really.
Yeah. That's but I mean, the only time that the lunar lander, which uses basically the same fucking technology to land on the moon, right? They did it flawlessly with every single Apollo mission to the moon. But that craft was only test flown one time on Earth and they crashed the fucking thing. And it did the exact thing that I said should be happening with that Elon Musk rocket. Exactly. Because it's in the UK. That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
as soon as you shift it center, it's fucking gone. It's over.
I believe in three things.
30 seconds.
Okay. I believe in Father Christmas, the Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny. For everything else, I want evidence.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay.
So if like 60 seconds to close up or something.
If I could just get 30 seconds to just respond to the moon rock thing properly.
We'll do 40. We'll split the difference. Let's do 45 seconds from each. Flatsoid, or I'm sorry,
Quickly
flat Earth.
respond to the thing we were talking about before we finish, please, if that's okay. I've been waiting for him to stop rambling so I can just have 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is you got 45 seconds, then Daryl's got 45 seconds, then we're going to the next question.
Yeah. So So the moon rocks. Mr. Allen's claim of all of them being stolen is complete fabrication. What happened was 101 grams, which is about what this weighs, were taken by an intern, and then there was an FBI sting to find them. The claim of all the moon rocks being stolen is a lie, because the only way you can be a moon landing denier is to accept lies. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. I've been waiting patiently. The reason I keep interrupting this gentleman is because he fucking talks a lot.
Greg never talks a lot, dude. I'm done.
45 seconds. So
he talks, and it's basically just a vowel movement. You know?
Yes.
It's just the spewing of shit out of his face. I think that's pretty much it. So much time whining about not having time to speak. Yeah, he's a whiner. I think he's actually a female. I really do.
Flatsoid, just like with the second law of dynamics, he mentioned that can't back it up with anything at all resembling second law of thermodynamics stuff. He just has to start changing the subject to asking me about generalities. This
watch this.
Like when he mentioned compartmentalization about my program, can't give any specific how it's compartmentalized because he has no clue, no idea. He probably never even heard of that program until I mentioned it. Then he has the nerve to mention character assassination when he's the one that mentioned them compartmentalizing and scamming people, when he's the one who's a specific direct liar by misrepresenting Reds in that video. So it's clear what's going on here. That's all I have to say.
You didn't really say anything.
No. And he brought up the 11 frames argument again.
What's that?
The 11 frames that are missing. The missing 11 frames. We've been over that.
Yeah, he's gonna. I think he gets a lesson on that too.
As Flatsoid, I know you don't believe we've been to space. I heard you say last night that the Starship launch could be just a hologram. How would it work? And do you have any evidence of its existence?
Obviously, I don't have evidence of it. I'm just saying it could be a hologram. I'm not saying it is a hologram. There's two different things. It was just a discussion we had on the stream last night. So, yeah.
Got it. This
I'm
one
making
from
claims.
DJ Moss says, correction. Moon landing. Okay, say, what is it? They say deniers. What's the other way that you'd refer to it? Moon landing skeptics. Okay.
Yeah.
Ray Callagher says, to test the suits, you only need the appropriate differential, not a hard vacuum. Anyone feel compelled to respond?
I asked what the pressure differential was so that we could point that out, that's what we need to be able to test. But unfortunately, Mr. Allen talked for about 6 hours, so I wasn't able to get there.
Exaggeration is your strong suit there.
This is don't worry, Marcus. Craig has a way with people, so you're not the only one to feel a little bit like, okay, that's this one from Ellipse Chris.
See, everybody knows he's a fucking irritating moron. Everybody, even the host of this thing, knows that he's like that he's just a creep. And I think the biggest thing, he's just toxic. He's just toxic. You know?
That's when you're caught in those lies like that and you got to defend this stuff. You become toxic, man. That's what I think.
Well, you know, and like Lucky was talking in one of his videos the other day, he said, you know, these fucking idiots think that they can just put that shit on a shelf when they walk away from this, right? They get offline and they say, no, man, they're carrying that shit with them, man. All day, every day, and into the night. And I think that's, you know, evident in the way they start looking. Look at Sean, for instance.
Yeah.
That guy just spends his whole fucking life angry about some shit. He's addicted to cortisol. That's all. And that happens. You get people like that. They're news junkies. You know, they're after that cortisol rush. and get angry about shit.
And it has nothing to do with them personally, though. I don't know
No.
why they.
No.
Oh,
No, you hear, well, they're goddamn liberals. You know, it's like, motherfucker, look, you know, how long I've been listening to people bitching about these people on both sides my whole fucking life. Ain't nothing got better with either side. What the fuck are y'all doing, man? What the hell? So all I've seen happen is it got worse. And we've had both sides in there to give it a chance with, right? And it don't matter. We just keep switching it up and just gets fucking worse and worse and worse and worse as we go. People don't realize that.
It's like a zit. You need to pop it.
Yes. Yes.
Get rid of that.
I've been saying that. The tree of liberty must be watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants alike.
Chris says, how many frames did Flatsoid remove in special effect?
Can I quickly share my screen?
Four is my understanding when Rez looked at it. Some say it was 11, but the fact is he put out a video where he didn't state that clearly. And he tried to make it look like it was something that it wasn't because he's a liar and a deceiver. He's all the things he's saying NASA is.
Okay, this is my video. This is my video for Darryl.
Hold on. We're going to give you a chance. I accidentally had myself on mute.
I thought it was on Flatsoid's video. I'm on my own. Jesus.
Rookie over here. What their question originally was, if you couldn't piece it together based on Darryl's response, is they had said, how many frames did Flatsoid remove in special effect? Go ahead, Flatsoid.
Okay. Everybody count with me how much frames I just removed. This is the original. Oh my boy. Did I remove frames there? Everybody, did I remove frames? Should I remind again? I'm sure I'm showing all the frames there. All the frames are there, correct? Great. Now we move on to my point. Wait. Now we move on to my point where I freeze it and I say, look, it's an inferior mirage. I remove the frames that's only in the inferior mirage, which is 4 frames. Then they go and say I was dishonest and took the Earth curve away. So that's practically all that happened.
So to clarify, I think from both sides here, Flatsoid put out a video where he both showed the entirety of Red's video and the part where he removed the frames. Would you say that is fair, Flatsoid?
Always. That's what I've always been saying.
And
But the thing is, I get the dishonesty saying, no, you dishonest. You lied. You just took all the frames out. I just showed you all the frames in my original video. So don't come and talk rubbish and try and misrepresent me again, because that's just showing you have no argument.
There he goes.
Do you mind if I
well, there goes Darryl with his eyebrows again. Huh? What now? What now, Darryl? What now? What's up, bro? Yeah? Can't see it? What? Let's get them eyebrows up there a little higher. He's starting to look like a fucking McDonald's. Let's go.
And put this issue to bed slightly from both sides. Okay. I think it's fair to say that Flatsoid did remove frames. So if Flatsoid claims he didn't remove frames, then he would be lying. However, in the same video that he removed the frames, he also presented all of the frames. And in my opinion, his intention was to show the difference between the two and what he assumed was just a mirage. So Flatsoid, just to be clear, you did in that video remove some frames, yes?
Yes.
But you also in that video
showed all the frames. And I was showing exactly what would happen if you took the inferior mirage away, because I was showing clearly that the inferior mirage was mistaken for Earth curve. That was the whole argument. Instead, I get people like Darryl misrepresenting what I said and calling me a liar without anything other than parroting Red's rhetoric.
Yeah. But you feel kind of dumb, don't you, bro? No, he'll just let that roll off him. He don't care. And fucking Darryl, he don't give a shit. But he does. He does, because that fucked him up right there. When his eyebrows have calmed down a little bit. When he had that full on fucking McDonald's eyebrow, you know, like a Karen gets when they want to talk to the manager, you know.
Well, if I was mistaken about that, I apologize.
But a lot of people have given the argument, oh, Flatsoid says he never deleted frames. And, you know, I've heard Flatsoid say that, but, you know, for the sake of fairness, could have been out of context. You know, yes, he removed frames, but in the same video, for the sake of fairness on all sides, he also showed all of the frames. That's my understanding of the situation. That's what I have to say on it.
Thank you, Craig.
That's
This
great.
one coming in from, do appreciate your question as well. Ray Kalahar says, to test the suits, you only need the appropriate differential, not a hard vacuum. Did I read that?
Yeah, because they say the percentage of the differential is what's being tested.
This from Eclipse Chris. So we got that one. Logic says, Flatzoid, have you seen a baggies, like a plastic bag, Ziploc bag hold air? That is the type of zippers used on suits?
No, it's actually zippers. You should actually take a look at the zippers. It's not like Ziploc bag zips. Ziploc bags are two wedged in compartments. The zippers used are zips.
Which don't hold air.
Jiffwald says Earth loses tons of helium to outer space every year. So either there's a hole in your magic glass
Hold
slash
up. How do you know that the Earth loses tons of helium a year? How would you know that? Is there some kind of a fucking pressure gauge on the atmosphere or something? How the fuck would they know any of that shit?
slash ice slash crystal dome, or Earth is not flat.
Or they're just believing what's being told.
Ooh, juicy. Okay, this one coming in from, I forget. They say, why did the Apollo astronauts act like their families died the previous night that they were making a hostage statement in the post-press conference? That they said this is for Darryl and Fight the Flat Earth. I didn't know this is the case. What do you guys think?
Say that one more time, please.
Anybody got little confusion on what they're talking about? The press conference at Buzz Aldrin, and Neil Armstrong and Michael Collins, they all had this press conference. And if you've ever seen it, it's like these are guys that just came back from the moon and they look like, their mom just died or some shit. I mean, they're just all depressed looking and shit. And I don't know, it just doesn't match up for somebody. I mean, you'd figure there'd be, I mean, look at Felix Baumgartner when they talked to him, interviewed him after he jumped from that height, right? He was animated. He was excited. He was, really, exhilarated from it, right? And these motherfuckers are sitting there like somebody told them some bad news, really bad. Anyway.
Could you repeat the question, sorry?
Why did the Apollo?
He was just saying that they were very sad looking, like someone died.
Let me hear the question, please. Let me hear directly what it was.
Just,
they say,
why don't you answer everything?
They say, why did the Apollo astronauts act like their families died the previous night they were making a hostage statement in the post-press conference?
Right, to be clear,
I'm not aware of that situation at all.
Okay, I know exactly what they're talking about. So there is a lot of clips and screenshots of the astronauts looking rather dour. However, if you've watched the entire conference, which was quite lengthy, there's many occasions where they're laughing and joking and smiling, even with the people that they're talking with and with each other. So yeah, I could take a video of anybody talking for 10 minutes and take screenshots and say, oh, look how sad this person is. But in the same video, I could say, oh, look how happy they are. If you watch the entire thing, they are three guys that just come back from space doing a massive press conference showing a range of emotions. Simple as
Craig, I've watched it too, and you're not very good at reading people. I'll just tell you that right now. You're not very good at reading people, obviously. I've watched it too, and this is another case where he's just going to say something and then go, so next, just fucking bullshit that he says. I really hate this guy.
What is that?
You got it?
I would actually agree with that.
Really? Wow, look at you guys. So 2 peas in a pod. This one coming in from
Don't push
Hold on, this isn't right. Flats, I hate you, Dick. Fuck you.
Be like, don't push it, James. You know.
this one coming
I don't
in.
agree with that though.
Eclipse Chris says you got called out and had to come clean, Flatzoid. This one from Truthfinder says Flatzoid asked Marcus if the Earth is flat. I think they're wanting to pit you guys against each other. They say also, Flatzoid, will you ever show the unedited 11 frames?
I just did.
I think that was probably sent in before he did that. That person's probably going, fuck, I just wasted money. Shit.
Juicy.
That was the video.
That's actually, I think that's all our questions that we have here. So I want to say, folks, thank you for our guests. They're the lifeblood of the channel. And I also want to say a huge thank you, as they are such good sports. We literally changed the topic of the debate 2 minutes before we started, and they were such good sports, and they were like, we can make it work. So I am so grateful. They're linked below. They're not only linked below here on YouTube, but also in the podcast. So if you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can find our guest links in the description box there too. But we appreciate our guests. Thank you guys. It's been a true pleasure. Fight the Flat Earth. Darryl, Marcus Allen, and Flatzoid, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much. Been fun.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
I'll be back in just a moment, folks. So stick around for a post-credit scene where I'll let you know about upcoming debates. I'll be back in about.
All right, so I think that's probably about it. And of course, something Wong is back here making noodles again. You can hear it. He's very quite loud about that. Everything comes through on this microphone. I swear to God. Anyway. Is that who that was drinking? She's going crazy, man. Anyway, wow.
Oh, I got interrupted by a monster. I had to go take care of it. I've been away for a bit. You know what I'm talking about. They can hear you right now, too. They're all on my side over here.
So yeah, that was I don't think Darryl really brought anything.
Oh, hello.
I don't think Darryl really brought anything to the table in that debate. Of course, Craig never does. He's just the same old stupid shit. He's gonna argue some craziness and everything. Well, I put the link about the stolen missing moon rocks. If y'all want to look into that yourself. You know, they claim they're finding fucking moon rocks and shit down in Antarctica for some reason all the time too. I don't know what that's all about. We have cities on the moon by now if we'd ever went back in the day. No shit, dude. And that was the whole premise of the propaganda too, because if you can remember Iron Horse, you remember that TV show called Space 1999? It was way back in the early 70s. And it was called Space 1999. And there was already well-established bases on the moon, traveling back and forth to the moon. And the premise of the show was that this base on the moon, and these people are trapped on it because it broke away from the orbit of Earth. And it was like going out into space, and they were encountering aliens and all kinds of other shit. But I mean, that was the propaganda. They told us, I had this record that was talking about, you know, it was about these two kids that went to the moon. It was a story. And in the time setting, it was, I think the 1980s was the time setting. And by this time, travel to and from the moon was frequent and commercial and all this other dumb shit. And here we are. Oh, we'll have to kick the Artemis thing down the road again because, well, we can't fucking do it. Oh, that is crazy. So yeah, I've been doing some really heavy duty deep dives into, I'm going to do a show on this here coming up real soon, and probably have to start it out here and then take it over to Rumble and be there exclusively, but I've done some look into Golden Dawn, the OTO, Jack Parsons, this whole thing, all the way up to and including what's actually going on today. And some of this rabbit hole has led me back over to the Mothers of Darkness castle and the Bellenhof girls. And it's a whole fucking, might have to have a whole separate channel for that shit, man, for real. There's some really, really, that's why I say, man, if people really understood what was going on right beneath their noses, God. And here I'm seeing this election craziness. Oh my God, y'all. What, Half Warrior, you watch that show I was talking about, Space 1999? Yeah. It was like, it kept people hopeful, you know? I think I had like these toys, man. It was like there was a rover, and he had these little astronauts, and it was not stuff that the NASA actually had. It was like, you know, predicting futuristic type shit. And it had these little action figures that had ray guns and all kinds of crazy shit. It was pretty cool.
Were they made by Prada by chance?
No, like the new spacesuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see? Where they had all these people at Mar-a-Lago singing the Israel national anthem?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh man, I mean, give me a break. Check this shit out. I'm like, you can't be serious, man. Come on, this was at Mar-a-Lago. See, and their national anthem even reflects their whininess, man. Most national anthems are bold, and, you know, with the exception of ours that glorifies war, it's still a bold song, you know. Oh, say, can you see? Right? And, you know, all of them, they have, you know, at least some kind of an uplifting thing. Theirs is just depressing as shit sounding. Listen to this crap, man. Sounds like a fucking funeral dirge or some shit, man. It's sad.
They should be wearing armbands.
I'm like, oh my God. I don't even want to hear no more of it. It's depressing music, man. It really is. And this is their national anthem. Oh my God.
Sorry, I got a question for you. Didn't they test the moon rocks they had in the Dutch Museum and found out they were the petrified wood?
Yes. Yeah. Well, they found out that it was petrified wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not real. And I think that was some State Department gave that as a gift or some shit like that or whatever. I don't know. Listen, think about the authenticity of, you know, all the silver dollars that Buzz Aldrin has given away or sold or whatever else that he supposedly carried on the moon with himself.
Yeah, sure he did.
You know, how many hundreds of dollars of fucking silver dollars did you take up there with you, Buzz? That's a lot of weight, you know? I mean, you were worried about if you'd ate too much before you lifted off because of the weight.
Yeah, I hear that Robert Tilton was selling the anointed cloths that came straight from Israel. It had holy water on them from Jordan or something. Same idea. You get it right. $25 will get you into heaven.
Yeah, that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. That's why I wondered. They call that place the Holy Land. And I was wondering if I went over there and I dug a bunch of that dirt out of there, brought it back here and dumped it in my backyard. Do I now have a Holy Land in my backyard?
No, of course.
No, I mean,
it came right from the Holy Land.
Right. There it is. It's just now it's here. See, I put it in my
Your
backyard.
Property value is going to go up.
I don't want to do that, man. Some war will break out back there. War. Fucking wildlife will start a jihad or some shit. Don't need that, boy. Don't need that.
Nice.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Watch this cop's face, man. This was classic. I don't know if you all have seen this yet or not. Watch this.
You know why I'm standing here?
If you got all C's in high school.
You know, he's thinking about it, dude. He is like, did I?
Oh, that was pretty bold. That was pretty bold. Okay, so do you know who Michael Rappaport is?
I've heard the name.
Oh my God, you'll recognize me when I put him up. But he's always making these pro-Zionist fucking videos. And this guy that I follow on Twitter, Rathbone, this shit is funny as hell. Watch this. This is great because he mocks him so bad. I love a good troll. You know, I love a good troll.
Looking for the apartheid.
I know.
Yeah. Where's the apartheid?
Good. So I got tires, I got Subarus, I got a tree, I got a Lincoln, I got a Jeep over here, I got a Nissan, there's a door handle, there's a light, there's a little bit of mud right over there. No bikes, not a single bike anywhere. Can't find one bicycle. Yes, I'm doing the bit again because I'm sad and pathetic and I'm running out of material, to be honest with you. Look at this, it's a rear view mirror. UPS truck, lady getting into a car, street sign, orange cone, a little garden right there. No bicycles, no bicycles, no bikes. I don't know, guess they don't exist.
He's funny.
Looking for the apartheid.
That's all he did was he's there in Israel and he's pointing at, you know, just shit and saying, I don't see any apartheid. There's some hats, there's some shirts, blah, blah, blah. So this guy, he's always trolling Rappaport. I think it's fucking hilarious. Okay, so somebody must have heard my idea. It went out into the universe. You remember what I said would be a great torture to make people talk? And that would be this right here.
Oh no.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You think sitting in the sun? It isn't you're on television. Mike, look at her. No.
That almost looks like Keanu Reeves in the dirt, doesn't it? Yeah.
You inhumane bastards! Whatever happened to the fucking waterboarding? What the hell? Somebody got an echo.
Discord, I think you got your YouTube on maybe or something.
Yeah, Discord's got an echo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My microphone is.
There you go. This is yeah, here's that same guy. He's not afraid to just put some shit out there. This is pretty good. This is that same guy. Watch here.
Oh me, oh my, and Israel tried. It's our land, said Daddy from the sky.
What do you mean? Like, that's our land? You personally live there?
No, the people that are my people lived on that land.
When?
Ancient, before time, my people, Israel Chai. Sky Daddy said so.
And where did you come by this information?
It was written in a book.
What book?
It was a miracle book.
Who's the author of this book?
I don't know, some person probably.
Who?
I don't know. It's not important. My dead ancestors lived here 3,000 years ago. God said so. It is the prophecy. We shall be free.
Yeah,
we shall be free.
When the last man dies, for just words that he said.
Sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, but these people live here now. Look at them. Where?
Right there.
I don't see them. They're right here. They're not there.
They're definitely right there.
No, nuh-uh. Yes, they are. Those aren't people.
That's definitely a whole lot of fucking people right there.
Oh, they're not. Through all things, Chai is possible. We are the chosen people.
Okay, so you're the chosen people.
Chodes and Peehole, yes.
And this is your promised land.
Poopy land, yes.
And you're related to the ancestors that used to live here thousands of years ago.
Yep, that's my crew.
So you should have no problem with taking a DNA test to confirm that.
And we know what that'll show, right?
Oh my.
Yeah.
We all
The
know
same
that.
thing.
Yeah, my wrong mic was set on.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I've had that happen a few times. I've had that happen.
Yeah, it changes by itself if I don't go in here for a while.
Yeah,
You have a ghost
listen, I've
dimension.
had it happen to me too. I've had it
I
happen
thought
to
I
me.
was muted and then I'm noisy.
Here's something I wish they would have showed this in the in that debate. Watch this shit. This is crazy.
The confetti? No.
No, watch. See that little thing? Watch that little dish on the right there. There.
Okay.
What the fuck happened there?
They're waving. Hi.
Well, it must have got hung up on the string. It was lifting it up or something.
Now, Dave, when you think that like that plaster that's on that thing would get brittle and break off in that cold temperature? The vacuum space. Yeah. Just fall apart,
Absolutely.
crumble, burn up
That
on
plastic
inside.
would crumble, I think. Yeah. I think that plastic would crumble. Look at this. People believe this. People believe this was real. Watch this. Yeah, that looks exactly how an airplane goes into a building, doesn't it?
Like butter. Yeah. Diving in a pool. Yeah.
People still fight. People still fight with you about that. It was real. I saw it on TV. Okay, buddy. Is this the one we had here? Oh, yeah. This is what you was talking about. This is the one you were talking about right here. This is by Robot Polisher. This is the one you were talking about, Raj.
Oh, okay. How are you talking about now?
This right
It's
here.
a good interview. Yeah.
That?
That's the
Me, MC Toon and I, we fight so hard against dangerous misinformation.
When it comes to NASA, what do you think their involvement was with the moon?
Well, we went there. We landed. Yeah.
Think that we went to the moon.
You really think we land on the moon? I can't take you seriously. I cannot take you seriously. If you're going to tell me we land on the moon, I can't take you seriously.
So I think that based on the preponderance of evidence, we did go to the moon.
And the excuse for not going back is...
Really?
Those bastards in Congress stopped paying them. They're like, no more money for you.
Like, here's the truth, right?
We've sent video from the moon back in future missions.
Yeah, I have a hard
time. But
time.
That's definitely another discussion, and it is an interesting one.
We've sent video back from the moon from future. What? From future missions? Did he really just say that? Hold on a second.
Back. Yeah. I think he did.
But that's definitely another discussion, and it is an interesting one, Jim. And
there's a lot of things I don't buy that whatsoever. You know, we don't have the technology, we don't have the money. I have a hard time.
Like, here's the truth, right?
We've sent video from the moon back in future missions.
Wow.
It comes out of I have a hard time. But that's definitely another discussion, and it is an interesting one, Jim. And
there's a lot of things I don't buy that whatsoever. You know, we don't have the technology, we don't have the money. There's a lot of doesn't make a lot of sense going on there. You know, Flat Earth is getting a lot of ground. There's something that people are really getting into. This is an incredible time in our lives. I don't believe our education system. I don't believe history anymore. I think World War II, there's a lot of lies. I think there's a lies in a lot of things. You know, gravity. What is gravity? That's what they told you in school. I can't believe anything they taught you anymore. Because I don't even think a child is supposed to be in a classroom. They're not. It's conditioning. That's all it is. It's conditioning. And if you don't go along with the condition, they say your condition is ADHD. which means basically they're going to give you drugs to pay attention to their system.
Ouch.
He did call it, man. He's saying it like it is, dude.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, I like the Brunoverse, man. I watch that show. I like Jim Brewer.
The reason I think these two, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, went over there is because Dearth was over there.
That's exactly why. That's it. Yeah. Listen, they were, at least I know Toon, he was harping at Roseanne to get him to come on there because Dave Weiss was there. It's galling their asses, and this has got to be galling their asses that they, they didn't make any headway with with Jim Brewer. You know, he's like, come on, no. You know, I mean, listen, he's not a dummy.
Did you think he would be? I mean, I didn't expect him to.
No. Because look, this is
right.
what I said. What was that thing I guess Duffy had on when it was an ex-flat earther, and he's gone, and it's basically he's just gone to the globe for Poontang. Which means he didn't. I don't believe his story at all. I don't believe his fucking story, not for even 1/2 of a second, because you can't unsee the truth. You just can't.
Just as much as I can see gravity.
Yeah.
Dave, you got any in your pocket over there? Did you bring it?
I do. Where is my gravity pocket? Here it is. No, on the floor. Imagine that. But here it is.
Pulled out by gravity.
I have it right
Damn
here.
Off the edge.
All right, let's see here.
And that's you can try to debate that all you want. Sorry, but that's the way it is. So,
good man.
Yeah, I'm open to whatever the Earth is.
Water is like anything else in the universe, Jim. It just reacts to forces that are acting on them. And in regards to the Earth, the rotation, the way that you got to think about the rotation is that it takes 1 day to do one full rotation. So if I sat here in my chair and I span round 360 degrees, but I took a whole day to do that, that's how fast the Earth is actually spinning.
Okay.
They try to push something as simple as, oh, look, the sun's right there, without showing you the whole story, that it's not, it's in space.
Got it.
No, he just wants to spout nonsense at you and not give you a chance to think about it.
Okay, all right.
Zooming in does not and never will bring something back that has gone over the horizon.
Gotcha. Okay.
All it takes is 10, 15 seconds of Googling, and that is how you debunk the majority of flat Earth claims.
This is Google?
These links here, these links go
like,
to, these are just Wikipedia articles. Disney in 1955 did a video with Werner von Braun.
Now, Werner was a Nazi, correct?
He was. Jack Parson did work for JPL, which did eventually get rolled into NASA, the Jet Propulsion Lab. He was friends with Aleister Crowley. He did some weird ritualistic things. He was off into some strange stuff. He was into some really strange stuff, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I do find it interesting that a lot of the Nazis were brought here during that time, especially if that's who we were fighting.
In science.
Hey, how long ago was this interview?
I'm not. It had to be like a week or two ago. I think they actually did it with him.
Was it on whose channel?
I think it was on Craig's.
Okay, because I was just looking on Craig's. I didn't see it over there.
Comic Tune. I get notifications from their channels, but I don't subscribe to them. But yet I still get them. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't watch him.
Theory is well established things. So gravity is well established. Mass attracts mass. This has been confirmed in numerous experiments. TESS is a very particular experiment, but people that are careful can do it.
You never find Earth testing anything.
Well, My brain hurts. Greg and MC Tune, you seem very, I'll say right now the word concerned. Obviously, Flat Earth Dave really bothered you. So take it for what it's worth. You've clearly heard what Craig McNeil had to put out there. Clearly see what MC Tune put out there, what they would call facts. It's out there. We had one side out there. Now we put the other side out there. You guys take up your own opinions. I already know the messages are going to be not so. Oh my gosh.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
So thank you. Is the Bruniverse flat or is the Bruniverse a sphere? I'll leave that up to you guys. I didn't know what to expect here, but this is okay. All right.
He was possibly stoned when he did that interview.
Sure, it's not on the Bruniverse channel?
It could be. Did you look on McTunes?
No, I haven't gone over there either.
I'll go.
Let me see. So, you say how long ago was it?
It's been about a week, maybe 5 days when I got a notification for it. I watched a couple of seconds of it. Like I turned it off. Like I can't see this.
All right, let me see here. I'm looking on Tunes real quick. I went way down. 3 days ago. Flat Earth debate at dumpster fires. Craig and Tunes gone, both discussing Earth Thatcher. 4 days ago, can I save the flat Earth? Moon landing debate. 6 days ago. Okay, that's under lives. Under videos, what's he got under videos? Oh, no, nothing there. Okay, so let's try Tune.
I figured it'd be on his homepage if he did an interview.
Let's see. 2 days ago. Let's see how flares half 7 days ago. No, nothing on that. On videos a month ago, 7 days ago. Nope. Nothing there. Let me see if I can go on Jim Brewer's channel. It might only be on Rumble too, so I don't know. Let's see. So under his lives, we only got 2. Under videos, I think he's got 3 days ago, 3 days ago, 6 days ago. Who took a chance on you, Jim Brewer? No, not there. It must be over on Rumble, if anywhere. So I cannot find it. Let me see. Did he put a link in this?
MC Tune and I, we fight.
Let's see if there's a link to it in this. Down here in the
It's not on McTunes Rock Band either.
No.
He did do a Moon landing one.
Let's see. The most dangerous app on Google Play, the App Store. Okay, that's no. I don't see anything about it. Fuck it. Oh, I know a way to look. Hold up. Let's go over to Robot Polisher real quick. Let's see if he's got a link to it. Maybe. If anybody else has a link to the original debate, throw it down. Oh, here we go. Robot. Oh, yeah, that's that one. Okay. That's the one we just showed. Let me see if there's anything more down here. No, he didn't link it either. I don't see it.
Maybe it got deleted out of the Bruniverse. You never know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I don't think that they made any headway with Jim Brewer.
No.
In any case.
Did you made more of an impact on him, I think.
You know, and there's like an element to this too that's with the space and all that shit. It's on Craig's channel, but only for members. Oh, okay.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I'm
not a member.
I don't want to see it that fucking bad. I can guarantee you that shit. I guarantee you I don't need to see it that fucking bad. Where'd Ryan go? He left out of here?
Yeah, he's over on my
again. Huh?
No, he's doing something else right now. He's over at my channel. We're getting ready to start streaming an hour.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's a lot to that. I was going to say they've done this with advertising and food and stuff too. You know, they use like sexual imagery.
Oh yeah, that's
And
sex sells.
It does. This is kind of a cool little video on that. It's only about a minute long. Let me bring this up.
Ooh. Food has been sexualized. Why is it we cut out sausages in this shape and then place them in between two buns? Or placing a burger in between two buns? They are sexualizing foods to make them more attractive. They do this because sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions a human can feel. It's written in our DNA to reproduce. They know that most of the population have no sexual control. I think it's sickening that we live in a society that pushes poison through sexual desire. I shouldn't have to teach you these things I'm about to tell you. Each one of these centers are mini brains. You can think with them. They have consciousness. When you are hungry and you eat, you are acting according to the gut consciousness. Body is a reflection of the lower self, the lower half, and the higher self. The spine is the stairway to heaven. We must climb our spine to raise our consciousness. We need to stop eating and lusting and turn to expansion of the mind, knowledge, and spirituality. We need to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness. You have an inner, invisible world, spirit, and an external, material world, the body. The Matrix is designed to keep you looking outside yourself and never looking at your internal spiritual world.
And that is true. They want you focused on that internal. And it's been very reflective in the way people act. You know?
That was a good little video, and it's true, yeah.
Yeah, they start training you young, especially at school, especially with the food pyramid and stuff.
Oh yeah,
they hook you right into that.
That thing is upside down almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, turn it upside down, you'll be way healthier.
See, now I don't remember no food pyramid when I was growing up. I just remember the 4 food groups, you know, that you had to have some of each bit of, you know, and it was dairy, grain, meat, and something else.
And that's the worst thing for your
introducing
body.
the pyramid back in like the 80s.
Cake. Cake. Yeah, that's it. Cake. That's, yeah. It's good for you, man. It's got eggs in it, and there's flour, which comes from wheat, right? So, and chocolate is technically a vegetable too. So, you know, come on.
Don't forget about all the sugar and shortening they put in it. You'll be all right.
So this is kind of crazy too. You get those little things that come up that you click on. It says, "I'm not a robot." You know,
Yeah. They're just getting us ready for the future.
Yeah, listen to what this guy says, man. This is pretty crazy.
Realize was when you click I'm not a robot, what it actually does when you press that button. They're collecting data at the same time. Have a listen.
Ticking the box is not the point. It's how you behaved before you ticked the box that is analyzed. Broadly speaking, you tick the box and it prompts the website to check your browsing history. So let us say, for example, just before you tick the box, you watched a couple of cat videos, you, I don't know, liked a tweet about Greta Thunberg, you checked your Gmail account before you got down to work. All of that makes them think that you must be a human. Essentially, when you are clicking I am not a robot, you are instructing the site to have a look at your data and decide for itself.
Let me get this right. When you tick I am not a robot, it can go through your history.
Yeah, you're
authorizing it. Yeah, you're telling it it's okay. Go and have a look what I've been looking at.
This really disappoints
I had no idea.
That's next level sick.
I expected already though. It's the government.
And you can't even
step before that.
Yeah, you can't not click that button. Oh, we can't hear you, sir.
I says it's oh, I forgot what I said, man. Shit.
It's there.
What is this? There's this guy again. It says if you I don't know if we get in any trouble about this. Hold up a second. Probably not. Probably not. Listen, man, this is getting hot. This is getting hot. When you got Donald Trump having the goddamn Israeli depressing national anthem done at Mar-a-Lago over their excuse of killing these people over a false flag event that they created. And he knows this, but he's so indebted to these people, it's not even funny, man. It's not even funny. He's really beholden to him. And he's talking about, if he doesn't get in, then Israel will cease to exist. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with that. That's not in my opinion, they're the most destabilizing fucking element in the entire Middle East, if not the world. Much bigger threat than Russia or China or any of the rest of that, and it's all due to this influence that they have. And I'm serious, man. It's like if he's going, oh well, if I don't get in, then it won't exist anymore. And I'm like, well, that's not a selling point to me. But that also tells me that Israel, who stupidly and foolishly started a war with every one of its fucking neighbors, requires the help of the United States in order to be able to do what they're doing. And to make matters worse, we're giving the weapons and the money to fight this bullshit to Israel, and at the same time giving aid to the people that they're bombing with our bombs and our bullets. And I'm like, this is next level sick. But what he's telling me and telegraphing to me from that is that, listen, I intend to get the U.S. involved in this conflict. Listen, man, it's not our fucking problem. And I'll be goddamn if I want to see America's young men and women or anybody's young men and women have to go off to die in a fucking sandbox for those little pussies again. Enough. You started your little war. You finish your little war. And whatever the fuck happens, well, that's what happens. Now, I'll defend a motherfucker, if somebody's picking on him. But if they're going out of their way and needling somebody into doing something to them, you're on your own, babe. I'm sorry. You picked that fight. You wanted that fight. You got that fight. Now you deal with that fight. That's yours. It ain't like you were unwarrantedly attacked. That was a false flag. October the 7th was a goddamn false flag. And that's all there is to that. I don't care what anybody says. This is nuts, man. These people, I can't get what the fuck these people have this loyalty to this despotic nation about, man. I don't get it.
You know how they were born, right? Well, the nation of Israel, the one that's there now, was stuck out in the desert and funded by the British government to go take their promised land back.
Well, take it back.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, let's do a DNA test here. Let's see how related to the people of that region you actually are.
And the UN babied them right into their network in 1949 or 48. Yeah. They brought them in. Oh, you're now a nation.
1947, actually. Yeah. The Levant affair. Man, there's a lot of shit to look into with that, man. I mean, people are just used to hearing a mantra. And if you listen to these politicians, every time they say like a carbon copy thing read off of a cue card or something. Israel is a democratic, only democratic place in the Middle East. They're our closest ally, blah, 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 blah. And I look at the alliance, and what is the alliance? Okay, we have to defend them and give them billions of dollars of aid and money and shit and weaponry every year. And what's their end of the bargain? Well, they let us, of course. I mean, wow, that's a good deal. Shit.
Yeah. Why not?
Slave owners.
Yeah. Weren't they calling to get Netanyahu out of office, though, right? That's what I heard.
Well, who knows?
They don't want him there. Yeah. They want to get rid of him.
Yep. I can only go by what I hear here. You know?
I know what you're saying.
And by what I'm told, I'm just saying, man, the shit that they're doing is just like over the top fucking barbaric and wrong. And this seems to be a pattern with them. I mean, they're out there protesting for the right to be able to sodomize the fucking prisoners of war. Are you kidding me? That's, man, I can't even wrap my head around that.
That's worse than Guantanamo Bay, man.
Well, no shit. And they're looking at it like it's a birthright to be able to do that. And it's like, who would want to do that? Who in the fuck would want to do that? Much less protest for a right to be able to do it. Sick. It's like, yeah, I can't even. Here's this guy. This guy, he kind of reminds me of that Zach Galifianakis guy. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Between Two Ferns, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of him. He looks a lot like him.
I'm a Palestinian, and I am an Israeli.
Whoops, hang on. Let me bring this.
He's
up.
both.
He plays both parts in these things.
He's duality here.
I'm a Palestinian, and I am an Israeli. We are fighting. I'm occupying their homes and ethnically cleansing their land. And I'm being ethnically cleansed in own land by a superior ethno-state. Don't forget, backed by the world's largest superpower, I have no state, no country, no national identity. And I have dual citizenship. I have no human rights. I have human rights, and I'm also the reason why they don't have human rights. We are literally in a famine right now, and I'm gonna be late for brunch. When they bomb us, we have nowhere to flee. If they bomb us, we will annihilate them. But also, I might just go to Brooklyn. Or maybe the Hamptons. I haven't decided yet, but summer is just gonna have to be. We are literally being annihilated. Can someone please help us? We have a right to defend ourselves. The situation is very nuanced and complex. There's bad energy on both sides. Both sides are doing bad things. I'm very smart.
Yeah. And didn't Netanyahu say that 9/11 was a blessing?
I'm a
I heard him say that once.
Yeah, because because Iran was only a couple of months away from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
What do you
And
know?
they're still only a few short months from obtaining a nuclear weapon. Come on.
It's none of our concern though. But how does the U.S. get drug into it every time? Whenever Israel's in trouble, we'll send in troops now and rescue their ass to start with. Whenever they were getting attacked, even back in the 90s and the 2000s, and I watched it happen. They go into Beirut and they would rescue their counterparts on the Israel side on the regular. It was a normal thing.
Here's the thing. How gullible we had to have been. Stephen Hawking, right?
Yeah.
This is before he had his little magic speaking spell. He had a translator. No, you telling me that this guy is sitting there next to this guy in a wheelchair, listening to him murmur unintelligible murmurs and translating it into complex sentences. Listen to this shit.
Away from mysticism towards a rational understanding of the universe.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
That's not even a man.
Nope.
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10.
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10. How the fuck did he get that out of that? Listen to this.
Yeah, he said the same sound.
Most of my activities, like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games, was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me.
Same sounds.
Good with my hands.
He's probably saying, please help me. They won't let me do anything.
Yeah.
They lock me in a room with naked midgets. No.
You ever seen him back in the day when he was at Cambridge? He was actually an athlete, and I don't understand this. How he became like this.
I don't get it neither. I don't think this is real shit, to tell you the truth.
No.
But I mean, this guy's actually translating. Look at this shit he's saying.
Models did not work very well.
Okay, guys, we can all see that this is not real at all. It was normalized by Han Solo and Chewbacca. As you can see there.
It was normalized. It was normalized by Han Solo and Chewbacca because that's about it, man. But I know, Chewie. But what about the Imperial Stormtroopers? Oh yeah, says you. I'm like, what? How the fuck? Why don't you speak back to him in Wookiee? You know, how come Han Solo don't go all right back at him and shit? You know, where's the Rosetta Stone program for that fucking Stephen Hawking to English? That's what I'd
I don't
like
think
to
you'll
know.
find it. I'll do
Probably
a
not.
YouTube search.
Real expensive. Real expensive. For all you people out there, which I know there's probably none. The True Few showed up in here? No way. Danny D. Soul. Here we got Shannon Emerson. Look at all these people. Jono Edwards is in here. Iron Horse, he showed up. Sean Alke, got all these people. Look at this.
Good
Forever
stuff.
Flowers. We're just smoking. You know what I'm saying? But all our space junkie people, you think you can't fake fucking space? Look at this shit. This is how real this stuff is. Look at this.
Pull back the curtain.
But yeah, I mean, it's right there. I mean, look at all the trouble they went through to make these models and to be able to film this shit. Why the fuck would you have to do that? Unless you're faking the goddamn thing. You know, it's that simple.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a video you might like, Bob. Here.
Where back here?
No, I'm going to put it in there. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll put it back in the private chat. This is called Giants in Space.
Oh, I have that. I've shown that. That's the guy whose face showing up behind the
Yeah. GeoChipper put it on like 8 years ago. He put it out.
Yeah.
Short. It's funny.
I have just the shortened version of that same one. We'll probably show that here in a few. You guys ever watch or subscribe to Stu Peters?
I've watched him a couple of times. I don't subscribe to him, but
that was crazy, man. He got hit with some flat earth shit and he was like, oh my God. And he's there now.
Yep.
He's also calling out on some other shit too that goes down. But you guys are aware, you know, like I've said before, what this is coming up, this is kind of serious because here in just 10 days? Is that what it's going to be? 10 more days and the big presidential selection takes place. How's our poll doing over here, by the way?
Oh, you got a
Let's
poll?
take
I
a
didn't
look
know
at
that.
our poll. So the question is who will win the 2024 presidential selection?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How many people have we had vote in this now? Where do I see that at? 123 people have voted. 72. The choices are Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, and the international bankers. And we've got Donald Trump coming in at 26%, Kamala Harris at 2%, and the international bankers are at 72%.
Well, who won the election there?
Every time, listen, here's who wins. The international bankers win and the people lose. Okay. That's what happens every time, man. So I've been saying it looks to me like it's going to be a shit show either way. I think they wanted something to happen last time, but it failed. I think that may have been part of the plan. I don't know, who's to say. But I know that they're beefing up, how should I put it, defenses around the White House and the Capitol right now. And they just did this, what was it called? Rammed through the authorization of Department of Defense Directive 5240.01, which is this directive for the first time in American history authorizes the military to use lethal force against American citizens for protesting the government. And
That sounds Trump-like, doesn't it?
listen, the fact that they're beefing up the fucking, like, they've got multiple layers of fencing and walling around the Capitol and around the White House and shit right now. Of course, Alex Jones being a sensationalist, there may be a little bit to what he's been saying that this is a plan. I've been saying, look, if I was the devil, what would I do? It looks overwhelming, even by my poll. If I take out, you look at that point spread, even if I take out the international bankers option and just leave those other two, you can see that gap, that run between Trump and Kamala. So if I were the devil, it overwhelmingly looks as though Donald Trump is going to win.
Yeah.
So what would I do just to be the most evil fuck in the whole universe? I would cheat again and throw Kamala up there. Now, what do you reckon would happen if that happened? What do you figure? And it's just a blatant, they don't give a fuck if you know they cheated or not, or you think they do, blah, blah, blah. They just go on. What do you reckon that's going to do?
It's going to piss everybody off to the point where they're going to get their guns and go down and do something about it eventually.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens, it's gonna be related to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is gonna be just as much as a president as the president, if not more. And it's all about Elon Musk right now. He's just not being, they're slowly putting him on the stage. He's gonna be the one.
This
everybody
kind of
listens to.
signals to me, though, that they're not just. It's not a just in case. I think that they ram this through in no short order. I think it's planned. I think it's absolutely planned that they're going to try to turn the military against the people somehow.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. It's a civil war almost.
Yeah,
Man.
and Elon could be a big part of that with his robots ready to be remote controlled by people.
Mm-hmm,
You know, you can find out a robot army now controlled by someone you don't know where is. They are ready
There
now.
you go.
They don't have a program, but you can control them.
Sure. Sort of like a human drone.
Yep, it's just a drone.
Remote
You can
control it.
remotely.
Yeah.
They are ready.
No, I'll be honest with you. I do like Stu Peters, so what I've seen of him.
Yeah. He's got some good shit to say, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it's him. Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah. And he's talking about this directive, DOD directive. And it kind of goes, see, there's some murky area there because you got the Posse Comitatus Act, but then you also have the Insurrection Act. And to me, it kind of, in a way, contradicts itself. I don't know. We'll see.
You know, we could only hope. We could only wish that Donald Trump actually would take a page from Adolf Hitler's book. Yeah, I said that. Because if he did, he would come in on day one and he would smash the Federal Reserve.
There you go.
And this time around, we might actually get the mass deportations that we hear so much about. But the fact is, Donald Trump isn't Adolf Hitler. No, not even close.
I have to disagree in this respect, okay? We got to stop painting Hitler with this evil paintbrush. Okay, get off of that. 99% of that shit is propaganda. Okay. You got to look at the similarities in the fanaticism of the people, his aim. What was actually the mustache man doing? His whole thing was to make Germany great again, right? To go to drain the swamp. Okay. And yes, he did smash the Federal Reserve, the banks of usury that they had there in Germany at the time. And of course, this pissed off some people, and it wasn't too long after this, and getting rid of the various vices that were plaguing and demoralizing the German people at the time through the Weimar Republic. They saw him as a hero. Interest-free loans for new families. Man, I mean, they were prospering. They were doing great. Their economy was good. Okay, they were forced into war. They were forced into war.
When did they start all that creepy eugenic stuff, though? That was also about that time.
Well, that actually has got its roots right here in the United States.
Yeah, but they also did it in the Nazi time, right?
Well,
or what? I don't get how that's, there's some people
did
saying it
they?
also happened in
Did they
Germany.
though? Because here's the thing:
But I
is
don't
it
know.
was, I mean, here's a guy who was giving you a bonus of money when you had a child. The mother was one of the most revered people in the country, in society, was a mother. Family. All the same shit that Trump is going after, so was AH. So was he.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You got to stop looking at this misrepresented propagandist story that we're fed. Okay? And look beyond that. Get your emotions out of it. See? And just look at the similarities. I mean, this guy's getting ready. He's going to have Madison Square Garden packed out Sunday, I think. I think it's this Sunday that Trump is doing a rally at Madison Square Garden. That is one of the biggest venues around, man. Kind of like Nuremberg was in 1936.
It's iconic, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got that place is going to be packed full. There will be people outside that can't fit inside. And the people that can't watch it, that can't go to it, are all going to be glued to their television sets to watch the Trump rally on their television sets, because they can't participate in person. They can participate via television, which ironically was the first television broadcast in history, was Hitler's Nuremberg speech. The place was packed out. They just had this new invention, the television. What? You mean we can go down here and they got this television and we can watch the rally from here without having to go there? Fuck yeah. Doing exactly what it was designed to do, to be a propaganda tool, a mass propaganda tool. And we're seeing that.
The people that had a lot to lose were the bankers and the people who ran the system to start with. So that's the people that are fighting against this now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now this guy's talking about cutting out an income tax in lieu of tariffs. Oh, what? That's certainly not going to set well with certain international individuals, but they've got him in their back pocket anyway, so I'm skeptical. Now he's talking about, I saw a thing saying where he was, as soon as he gets in on January 20th, they're going to arrest Anthony Fauci and Bill Gates.
Sure.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, right, until he wins, and then he's going to say, well, they're all right people. We like them, and they've done a lot of good for our community, and they got windows. Oh, fuck you, dude. Just like you did with Hillary. You're gonna jerk the football out. there's New Civil Coalition. What's happening, brother?
How you doing this evening, Sob?
I'm finer than frog hair split 3 ways, my man.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to step off. I'm going to be starting the show pretty soon, so I'm going to get ready for it.
All right, Roger. You take care, buddy. Have a good show.
I will. You too, man.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
You're having a good one now. All right.
How long,
right.
Rod?
Right.
I can check myself. Doesn't matter.
There you go. You're all right. You're good to go there, Discord.
And calling him Hitler or comparing him to Adolf Hitler is something that his opponents do because they know that the average American is so brainwashed that for a huge swath of the population, if you compare somebody to Adolf Hitler, then that person becomes untouchable.
This is the one that gets me. You'll see these dumb fuckers go, he's literally Hitler. Okay, first off, you don't know what literally means, obviously, because he is not indeed Adolf Hitler. Okay, he's not. He's Donald Trump. You can say he's like Mustache Man if you want to. But when you sit there, these people are like, no, he is literally. And no, he's not. Shut up. That's preposterous. Do you know how old he would have to be? Stop.
It dehumanizes them. It associates them with a cartoonish version of an evil supervillain bent on death and destruction and world domination. And that's a big part of why so many people have absolutely no problem with calling for and attempting the murder of Donald Trump or the murder of his supporters or the murder and genocide of white people in general.
If that is, if you believe the whole assassination attempt propaganda story. There's old Mojo. What's up, brother? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't. That one ain't floating by me. That whole thing was propaganda is like nobody's business.
Yeah, because they're all Nazis, according to the political class and according to the media. So it's no wonder that the DOD is now allowed to murder Americans on American soil for protesting their occupied government. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. explained this in an ex-post that he made addressing Harris's remarks, writing that, quote, "This is the kind of inflammatory poison that divides our nation and inspires assassins. It's particularly ironic since Biden and Harris have just pushed through DOD Directive 5240.01, giving the Pentagon power for the first time in history to use lethal force to kill Americans on U.S. soil who protest government policies." End quote.
Protest government policies. So I mean, like they could go up to any protest and just start open fire on them, or what? How's that going to work? How's it going to work?
So what Kennedy said there is actually pretty accurate. But it's not some kind of a coincidence. It's not some kind of irony that Kamala Harris and the Jews in the media are ramping up all of this Nazi talk, all of this Hitler talk, just after the Biden-Harris regime authorized the military to kill Americans. You see, they know that the election is going to be rigged.
Oh. What kind of protests do you think would go about? I mean, let's look a little bit more closer. What if all of a sudden Biden puts our soldiers into a hot war, does like Johnson and just starts fucking sending troops over into Israel and Lebanon and in that area? I mean, we have a presence there now. But if they start sending all of our soldiers there and start drafting motherfuckers, because they're already well below troop strength, and they start drafting people, oh, Lord Almighty. Because I know a lot of people are just going, no, fuck you, man. I'll do the time. I'm not going. I don't blame them.
And they know that they're going to try to steal it. And when they do, they know that the American people are going to push back. At least we hope they will. So in preparation for all of that, Harris is now setting the stage to order the military to open fire on American citizens and have her supporters cheer them on. If you don't think it can get any worse than it is today, the American military, who has been absent in performing their core duty, which is to protect this country from a physical invasion and to protect you from any harm that may come as a result of her invasion, who has been thousands of miles away protecting the borders of this foreign secular nation state called Israel,
Well, leaving ours wide open.
who has deployed all over the world to spread democracy, sticking Israel's transgender and homosexual agendas in every country, sticking our missiles everywhere that you buy, by the way. That military, that tranny-filled military, now has authorization to fire on you for questioning or, God forbid, criticizing any of it. You know,
One day I was going through that computer system, which if you want to look it up, it's called an
I
Air
don't
Force
think we
Form
could hear you talk there,
3952. It is the approval of
I just
hazardous
came back and I
materials.
saw you
I
move
was
your mouth.
finding tons.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted. I didn't want to have my bong hits going. But for all you people that think that chemtrails are fucking fake or a hoax, this guy on Facebook trying to tell me, he says, "Oh, you mean contrails?" I said, No, I know what a contrail is. I'm talking about these things that stay up in the sky for hours and then spread out and cause the sky to be milky white. That's not a contrail, fool. These people and he's, oh, well, that's a conspiracy theory. I says, dude, why are there states that are banning this conspiracy theory then? What's going on with that? How do you ban something that's not happening? Right? Come on, bro. Well, this girl right here, listen to what she says, man.
One day I was going through that computer system, which if you want to look it up, it's called an Air Force Form 3952. It is the approval of hazardous materials. I was finding tons and tons of large quantities of aluminum, barium, strontium in the forms of oxides and sulfates. I also conducted soil sampling because I thought, you know, if this is real and they are spraying this, it's going to get to the ground. So I conducted air sampling, I conducted soil sampling, and I was getting high levels of these contaminants. When I started asking the question again under a new commander, I never in my life thought I would have somebody look me in the face and tell me, I am questioning you. Is there something wrong with you? You've been looking really depressed lately. You know I can put you under mental evaluation for up to 120 days. Who would take care of your daughter? Because I was divorced at the time. As soon as I heard that, I knew. It validated everything I ever thought. And I thought, I've spent 9 years of my life trying to protect human health. And here we are violating law after law after law. Just sitting here, instead of protecting the people, we are poisoning the people. And I've never got up so much courage from that fear of being thrown in a cage. Because when you're in the military, folks, you're a number. And every aspect of your life is controlled. I ran and did not look back. And I have been blowing the whistle and shouting ever since.
Huh. No doubt, right? So, I mean, there's enough shut up in that right there just because, we'll put you in a mental fucking place. And, your daughter won't have any place that she can go. And, I mean, wow. So there's a lot of pilots have been, it says here, pilots have been dropping like flies. Can't fly without that, right?
Yeah.
Can't fly at all now.
Yeah, and look at what a
They even
stunt that
moved the
is.
goalposts for them to be able to pass the medical as regardless heart function, in regards to heart function, because so many of them are now screwed, but want to work. Let's see, and they're flying me and you around.
Man, why
Doesn't
don't
matter
they
to
just
me.
make the planes remote controlled by now? Then they can have a job. Oh, I wouldn't
Oh
want to do
no,
that. I wouldn't want to
I
be
don't
in it.
know, man. I don't know.
Oh, connection
I've been.
lost. Oh no. Oh no, we're going
Hold
down. Oh,
on.
it's back. Oh, whew, we made
No,
it.
no, look. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Though. No,
Yeah.
the robots always end up fucking people over. Every movie I've ever seen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's Hal not letting Dave in the airlock, or whether it's iRobot, or whether it's, I don't give a shit. There's always some kind of a problem. Did you see that? What is that on that? Is that on Hulu or Netflix? There was this movie where this invasion from aliens was coming. And these people, the aliens, were coming in and killing everybody. But then when he looks at his wife, they get wounded or whatever. They find out that they're robots. They didn't know that they were robots that had rebelled and ran all the humans off of Earth. And then they did like a memory wipe, and they all thought they were real people, but they weren't. They were all robots and shit.
That's funny.
And the
That's
humans
a
coming
real
back to
theory.
get the Earth. Yeah,
That's
because
a
at
real
first you're
theory.
like, you're like, oh fuck, you know what the hell? These aliens are just wiping people out. What's going on? And then you find out that all the people are just robots. I was like, oh, that's fucked, man.
And who says they ain't? Who says the ones controlling us ain't fucking robots from the past?
Right?
Not just
I don't know.
they don't have to be robots. They could be humans that are so genetically modified that they are actually just like robots. They don't give a shit about anyone. They are just
There
modified
he
to
is.
be exactly how they need to be. Completely slave-minded and afraid of their boss. We don't know.
Yeah, see, here's this thing I ran across too. Said Trump and RFK are planning shock and awe arrests of Gates and Fauci on January 20th.
What?
Yeah. Shock and awe arrests of Anthony Fauci and senior government officials who perpetrated what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is calling the crime of the century are set to take place on January 20th. What's he say? Just hours after the inauguration of Donald Trump. Right. Yeah. Lock her up. Right. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Get her.
He even said he wouldn't prosecute Hunter for the shit on his laptop and everything. He said it would be bad for the country. Are you shitting me?
Crazy.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
So did JFK? What was his name? Did he say something about it though, or is it just
Who?
a
Did who
Robert?
say?
Is that him actually saying that about Fauci?
Well, that's what he's saying. This is, I guess, this is on a thing. It's a 15-minute long video, but it was on TPV Sean. I was just reading you the post that went along with the video. I can give you the.
If he's
cut
verbalized
to the video.
some
I'll put
expectation
it
on the right
down
one.
here in the chat. Let me get that in there. There we go. And let's see. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't believe any of it. They keep telling us there's going to be all these mass arrests, and boy, the worst ones are these fucking Q-tards. These idiots all think that these fucking people have been executed and shit, or they're at Gitmo. And I'm like, no, they're not. Come on.
When Q first came out, this was before, like, it's been out for a while, but they started pushing this Q thing. Well, when Pebbles and I first found out about it, it was just about child trafficking and stuff and deep underground bunkers. So it sucked us in. And this was like 5-6 years ago, right? So Pebbles and I started doing actual work for Homeland Security because we wanted to do something to help out. We were scouting these different websites, and we had to follow a list on the protocol. And whatever was not answered rightfully, or if there was any kind of fraudulent kind of looking reviews and just things to look at in the reviews, then we turned the website in. So after 150 websites, I turned in 2, Pebbles turned in 1, and hers got investigated. But besides that, we found out about all of this stuff and then went through it and backed off from it. And then when it got big, it was like you could definitely tell that it was a psyop, you know. But
I think it started out legit,
right,
and got compromised.
Right.
I did. Because initially a lot of the shit that was coming out checked out.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of the shit that came out got checked out, and especially if you started looking into the MK Ultra program,
right?
Relationships of where did Tony and John Podesta come from? Where did they were foster kids? You know, they were adopted. Where did they come from? From the fucking kid mill, the same place they get all these MK Ultra kids and these abuse victims, and right from the yes and
just
whatnot.
like they do in every reset, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and they throw their little fucking horses out there to try to pretend that they're on the side of the people and whatnot. Like a good example to me is Corey Feldman. In my opinion, I believe that Corey Feldman did have things that happened to him, just like he says. But you don't need $1 million to tell us names, okay? And as soon as you do get a little bit of money, you go off the fucking deep end and do something stupid like start a rock band that was just cringe. I mean, dude, okay? So what I get the vibe off of him that he's in it too, because often the abused become abusers. Okay, you understand what I'm getting at? People who were abused end up becoming abusers a lot of times, especially if they've never gotten any kind of counseling or help from it. You know,
Wasab, do you think the ultimate goal for all of that satire and sensationalism is to cause a sense of disfaith in life?
No,
you know what I'm saying? No hope. Like you see all this darkness.
No. If anything, it gives me more hope because I know what it's all about. Ultimately, when you break it all the way down, you see what it's all about. It's spiritual warfare. Although real people are involved and physical things are happening, it's the expression of that same spiritual warfare that we're speaking of, and we're seeing that increasing worse and worse as time progresses.
Right.
I mean, I just watched the thing with it was on X. You know who Owen Schroyer is? Owen Schroyer. He's from InfoWars, blonde-headed kid. Anyway, he was at a abortion rally or some shit like that. And a pro-abortion rally, and there was these people out there wearing like costumes from the Handmaid's Tale from the Netflix, you know, that with the red dress and all that, right? Anyway, these people aren't just, it ain't about pro-choice. These motherfuckers were all straight up about killing babies. They were actually saying that they were happy about killing a baby.
I know.
I mean, I've heard people I've heard women actually say that they would go get pregnant just so they could get an abortion and shit. And I'm thinking that's sick. That's some sick fucking shit. And right off the bat, as soon as he showed up there, somebody came up and right on camera shows up a sign that says "Hail Satan" on it. And I'm like, well, there you go. What's that tell you who these people really the fucking are, you know?
Right.
I mean, where was it just recently, not too long ago? There was a man here just got arrested for praying and this is in England. He was praying outside of an abortion clinic silently, wasn't fucking saying a thing, and he was arrested for that. Why would praying outside of an abortion clinic be an egregious offense to anyone except the devil?
That's exactly right. Hey, did you see that video clip of the Queen was walking with the prince down the middle of all of the pallets of stacks of just gold, big old stacks of gold, and then
Where
she
was
walks.
this? Who did this now?
It's a video of the Queen before she died, and she's walking with
Uh-huh.
Prince Charles in the
Mhm.
warehouse where they house all of their gold, and it's in these big, like 200-pound blocks or something, and there's stacks of them. She's walking through it, and she's looking all proper, and as she
Yeah.
walks out, she goes to get in her Bentley, and there's a guy on the side, will work for food. Right there. It was so revealing, man. I mean, it's, just out there, but that's how it is, man. That's just crazy.
She was walking her yellow brick road.
Yeah. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, look, that was enough gold in that warehouse. If that was real, which it probably is, I mean, just saying. This is just
She knew she was
weird.
dying. I think that was symbolic.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't really die, if you ask me. So
No, I think they do like a parasite transfer.
Yeah, some kind
You
of
know?
transfer, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, you remember that TV show Stargate?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a movie. Okay, and so these system lords that posed as gods, they were actually just people that had this parasitic organism that was a symbiote that
Yep.
lived inside of them and gave them kind of like special powers and shit like that. But I mean, nevertheless, it was just a human host. And the little parasite or the symbiote was able to choose its next host. And I'm looking at this, how they need to be of a genetic compatibility in order to receive this parasitic entity that's actually running. Because look at what these people do, man, right? They implement plans that they would and put a lot of effort into plans that they will never ever see come to fruition because of their lifespan. Yet the work continues generation to generation to generation. And I think they just keep passing the same entities along. And so their lifespan as an entity is far longer than the human host in which they inhabit. So they keep having to daisy chain down the genetic line in order to complete their works.
Yeah.
Make sense?
And there was a good and an evil version of those creatures. There was a good side where they allowed the human to work with them, where they had a life too. They were working together, living together, being one in the body. They were the good ones fighting the evil ones with the humans. But you could choose to become one with one of those. They didn't force you, and they would allow you to be one with them and also have your body and your life. So there's both of them in Star Trek.
Forever
Stargate, sorry.
Flower. I'm waiting they will need to connect their mic and camera before you can add them to the stream. So Forever Flowers, if you can hear me, you need to add your shit so I can click you to come up.
And if you think
Did you see this? Apparently Governor Newsom is trying to make this illegal in California. Listen to this. Is funny as shit.
I, Kamala Harris, and your Democrat candidate for president, because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean, Joe Biden. You think the country went to over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
What was it where somebody asked her? They said, somebody asked her, they said, oh, here we go. So somebody asked her, they says, do you think that, why didn't you, when did you start noticing Joe's decline? And she's like, oh, there's no decline. He's sharp as heck. I've seen him in the Situation Room and everywhere, and he does just great. And then they ask her, he says, so then why are you running?
Right. right. Demoralization.
Oh my God.
That's what it's about.
These fucking people.
They
just do it, and everybody goes, hey, wait a second. You're not supposed to fucking do that. And they're like, we don't care. We're going to do it anyways.
You know this guy named Yuri Bogovich, whatever. He's like an ex-KGB. He did the little talk about the ideological subversion. I'm sure you've heard that before. Seen him. Yuri or something. Bobovich, whatever. But anyway, he goes into this strategy that the KGB used, and it's called ideological subversion, where they demoralize, destabilize, and almost just like problem, reaction, solution, but it's in a German kind of tactical way. I'm gonna see if I can find it and pull it up though. It's pretty trippy when you hear the way the steps go to make it crumble. It's like you can just lay it over to what we went through in the last 5 years. It's like, whoa. It just matches up perfectly.
Really?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna be going over to Roger.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here in just a few minutes myself, man. It's 2.5 hours. That's about enough. And
I just want to say, you mentioned we talked about the robots and all that stuff, and the past we can't know about. The thing with Stargate, sorry. The thing with those beings, now that's Neuralink. Right now, that's Neuralink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do not touch that stuff. That's all I gotta say.
No, I'll tell you what. I ain't giving my shit over to a control. Look, I'm so against fucking robots that I won't even use the self-checkout. Okay, I ain't doing it. Don't even want to do nothing to do with it. Nope. That's where it starts.
Does anybody know about any of the achievements or up-to-date kind of abstracts about the Neuralink implant? Is there any up-to-date stuff about it, or maybe we need to check that out sometime?
I don't know, man. I don't know if they made any progress with it or anything.
Yeah.
Probably going to try to incorporate that into some kind of nanotech so they can just put it in you. Here's the thing about blue light that putting it in their brains at
photocatalyst. Yeah, light is a photocatalyst.
Yeah, and then make a mouse aggressive by beaming a blue light into his brain.
Wow.
Who thinks up that sick shit, man?
I know, right?
I mean,
I'm really curious on who knew how to put information into quartz crystal.
Yeah,
Why
right.
did they do it? Why?
Where did it come from, right?
Right.
Natural technology. Yeah.
So how do you put information into a crystal? That's what's, how does that even, that's just wild. That is beyond, that's beyond normal thinking if you actually stop and use Occam's
Don't they
razor on it.
use crystals in hard drives and stuff already?
I know, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that is crazy.
And then we have actual crystal structures in the cochlea of our ear. They're standing upright.
And our pineal gland is supposedly a
Have a
crystal
crystal. Yep, you are
Yeah.
correct. Right. That's
with
crazy.
actual liquid fluid. We
Yeah.
we can't see it.
That's right.
I'm trying to find this. Oh, I can't show you that. You have to see that on my Facebook page. I made it through there. Okay.
So real quick, if when they go to observe the electron, when they give a person an X-ray that's old, like 53 or so, and they look inside, and the electromagnetic pathway waveform collapses, could that be mistaken for clogged arteries? I'm just saying.
I don't know, man.
They made billions off of it.
Oh, so y'all know real quick, ADHD thing here. The Internet Archive is back online.
Cool.
It was down because of a data breach. Now it's back up. So
something big just blew up.
Hopefully everything is cool there. I like to go there and find these old 1950s and 1960s sci-fi B-grade movies, and watch them because they crack me up. They do, man.
They also use the Wayback Machine.
The Wayback.
Yeah. I think the Wayback Machine is all fixed as well. So everything.
Stop. I got an
I'll
idea.
have to get over there.
LIGO is 15 minutes from my house away from here, dude.
Oh, no way.
We need to do like a live audit one day.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You know
do
what
it.
I'm saying? Or something like that. Like, think about it. I mean, I'm 15 minutes from it. I'm like right and hop and skip, and then I'm there. And they do have Science Saturdays.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I'm gonna do a little deep dive into the abstract again. And I'm gonna send you some things just to look over and tell me what you think about it.
Right.
Because there's some, I think, if you stop and think about it, why would you have an interferometry mechanism to shoot at a firmament? They know it's a solid dome up there. Think about it. These are trillionaires. They've got lasers that are like trillion-watt lasers. They probably have the only federal permits to have that type of technology. So they know what's above us. Think about it.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, what are they really using them for then?
God only knows, man. And probably a deeper project that's just for cosmetics.
Well,
they ain't even really doing shit there. You know what I'm
What do
saying?
they use in airports? Terahertz frequency, 9th generation technology.
Terra.
Yeah. Then you got the barium, the strontium, and all these different microparticles that are that fall to our substrate, go up into the vegetation and all of the plants and the trees, and then a scalar wave of potential can just like breeze right through it, and it can
terahertz.
Yeah,
it sounds like terahertz.
Terahertz. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hurting the terra, hurting the land.
Terahertz.
That's pretty
Probably
true.
does.
That way, that's a good eye. See, when you get a lot of people thinking on the same type of, wavelength, you see things from different angles. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I am 15 minutes from LIGO, or however you say it. LIGO.
Yeah, you need to go up there and
we need to check that out.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to get brain scanned walking through the door though.
You don't want to get what?
Brain scanned, and they're like, "Okay, we got his DNA thumbprint now."
We've got one that can see, right?
No doubt.
Put your tinfoil hat on.
Look, I
and then
made
you'll
a
get fried
helm.
for
y'all.
sure.
I made a grounding helm. It's a helm.
It's kind of funny.
It's got tails coming out the back, and I can connect it to a superior ground. And you can put it on and stand where the ground is. And I've got like a about 5 foot hole, and down in the hole, I dug another 3-foot hole and put the ground rod. I filled it up with 5-micron carbon and rock salt, and then buried it all and had a tail coming out of there. And that's like a
Oh
superior.
shit.
Yeah. So you can hook the tails to that during a thunderstorm, and the hair on your legs will stand up.
Oh no shit.
Awesome. Yeah. And just, I mean, you know, it's safe. You're grounded. I've got, because I do electroculture and stuff out here too. And so it's really cool. It works.
Nice.
So it stabilizes it helps aggregate the blood and does all that. It's really good stuff. Anyway.
Somebody wants to know if you have a channel.
I do. It's Cajun Art Guild. I don't have any. I think I have maybe one video up right now. I'm trying to. I don't know much about all this. I'm just now kind of getting on
Yeah.
board doing this. So
They can't
When
spell
you get it
that.
rolling, we get it rolling. We'll put you out there, buddy. We'll put
all
you
right,
out
that's,
there.
that's what's up.
Even
So
Cajun.
we got to make
Most people can't
what?
spell that.
Cajun Art. Yeah.
Cajun
I think
is
that's what it is. But it's
CAJUN.
under New Civil Coalition now. So I don't know if it's still under that, the Cajun Art Guild, but my profile
They
name is
should be able, if you type something in the chat,
right
people
on.
should be able to click on your thing and go to your channel.
Yeah, and I'm gonna message you soon too, because I don't really know much about what I need to do, and I got a couple of questions because you're
Right.
kind of a Vic at this.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm still amateur as all get out. See, I just smacked my mic. Boom again.
Well,
Do
Pebbles
that
and
half
I,
the time.
we've been watching you ever since you started.
I don't even know
No
if you
shit.
all can hear
Like,
me.
yeah, we don't miss an episode.
I hear you,
can.
Forever Flowers. Go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I have like a janky headset, like,
Oh,
just
Gotcha.
the minimal. I am not a YouTuber. I am not any of that. But I am so thankful that I found your channel, and
oh, thank you.
I just want to tell you, I love every topic you talk about, and I am happy to meet more people that I can talk to, because there are so many around me that I cannot. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot speak about certain things.
Get that fluoride stare. You get that fluoride stare back at you.
Well,
They go,
yeah, and I work at a place right now that sells everything that I would never eat. Let's put it that way. I would never eat any of this shit, but I work there because it's the place that's closest, the most
right?
convenient place to work. And if you have to make money to live, that's what you do.
Yeah, you gotta.
I mean,
It's,
you think
you're gonna have
miners
to
really
sell
want
out
to
to
go into a cave and mine coal? No, but that is
No.
what they do.
Yeah,
So
I
I
was.
sell crap to people and I look at it and I'm just like, I would never eat any of this shit. They have no theft concern, for me. Like, I'm not going to steal your shit.
Right.
I don't care about your shit. I don't give a shit. I just
Yeah.
have to say that.
They love you. You ain't taking anything. You're just working.
I'm not taking
Perfect worker.
nothing. No. Hell no. I don't want anything to do with what
You are
you
even telling the
sell.
other people, don't eat that. Don't eat that.
Well,
They
no,
love
I
you around
don't.
that place.
No, I don't tell people not to eat it,
Okay.
because here's the thing: as I still want my job. Okay,
Right.
you
Right.
Of
you,
course.
you can't. You can be like, oh yeah,
If people
those are
don't eat it, you
fun.
don't
Yeah.
work, right? If people don't eat it, you don't work,
Well,
right?
here's the thing, right? You have the Kellogg's protest going on with the artificial food dyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I may not have a job because everything that they have on their shelves is Kellogg brand,
No,
Post,
no.
all the crap. So what do you do? What do you do?
Oh.
That is the
Well.
question.
Now, what do you do? Like, either work for this company until they fall, because people are actually starting to understand what
Mm-hmm.
artificial food dyes are doing to our children. It's
Mm-hmm.
all geared towards kids. It's horrible. And when I woke up to it back in my son was 5. back when I first discovered, like the artificial food dyes is what's causing all these problems.
Mm-hmm.
Vaccine injured, of course, but the artificial food dyes actually amplify the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So when you remove the artificial dyes, then you actually can get your child back. And you can
Right.
actually start having conversations. And
Yeah.
high levels of magnesium, I'm talking about soaking in baths of Epsom salt.
Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard it. I've heard that. Yeah.
Like there's
It's
so much I've gone
nutritional.
through in 10 years. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of nutritional aspect to that too. You heal the gut, you heal the mind. I've
right.
heard that
Lots
before.
of studying, all of it.
Yeah.
And people look at me and they're like, oh, well, how do you feed your child? And I'm like, you read ingredients, like you have to start to actually care about living and your child. Like you just
So
don't give
when
it
in
to the
your
system. Don't give it to the system, okay? And be like,
right.
okay, they have it. That's their job now,
Do
Like
you
what the fuck is that?
in your line of work, do you run into Karens very
Oh,
often?
actually, no, because where I live, we all get it, I think.
Oh, okay.
We
You got to be
I, li-
careful.
I
You got to be careful. It can just happen to you.
Oh, it used to. Oh,
No,
and I
I'll
used to
show you. Watch.
actually be a Karen. I actually was
What?
a Karen at one point, right?
Here's
Where I
how
was
here's
just
how
like,
it
oh my
started.
God. And then I had a kid and I was like, oh shit, no.
Here's how it
I'm
started,
just gonna
Flower.
help this mom now, okay? I'm not gonna
Here's
be a
how
Karen and yell at a woman for doing something stupid, okay? Because she's a mom overwhelmed. I'm gonna just go over there and be like, hey, can I help you? Can I
right,
help
right,
you?
right.
I
Well,
I
here's how
saved one woman's child from rolling down in the stroller because she had thought she had put the brake on it while she was looking at a booth at a fair. And the kid was rolling down the hill. And I just stopped it and I walked it up. And I was just, I'm not calling CPS. I'm not calling the cops. I'm not big. She was obviously a frustrated mother, And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just need to give them that time. Hey,
Now we know you can go from Karen to Karen. From Karen to Karen, caring.
caring,
Yeah.
caring.
Sharing, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
You can go
here's
from
yes,
Karen
Lord.
to caring. Yeah.
Here's
Once you have
here's
a
how
kid,
this
you start to understand a lot of shit.
here's
It
how
Sorry.
seems
this
impossible when you look at them, but it's real.
Um,
We got proof now. Sorry, Sab.
it's all right. So this is how this is how a transformation into a Karen can happen. So just so people can be aware.
So
Oh,
miracles
hold on,
does
some
happen.
skateboarders. You can't skateboard here. How's that? I want to talk to the manager. No. No, what's happening to me? There goes the neighborhood. You're trespassing, okay? This is a private neighborhood. Don't film me! I'm calling the police. No! Please! No! God! Somebody help me, please! Yes, hi, I'd like to report a crime. 3 juveniles skateboarding on my sidewalk. Thank you. I called the cops. I called the police.
That was a good
I've
one.
known those women so many times. I've seen those women. I've worked in a restaurant, man, and let me tell you something. You get them. Oh my God, you get them. Some of the dumbest shit. Was I watching some cop video the other day? But this guy, he passed the guy on a bicycle, and the guy on the bicycle felt that the guy passed too close to him, and so rode up and confronted him in the parking lot, and then was opening his door trying to keep the guy from being able to get out of his car and blocking him so he could call the police. And he said he's going to call the police because he went too close. And it's like, wait a second. He's telling the cop, he's going, and he wouldn't open his door or tell me who he was or anything. And the cop's like, yeah, he doesn't have to. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my God, this guy was so entitled. He thought he was so entitled. It was like, dude, just get over it. You know?
He's a Darren. A Darren.
A Darren. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
That's the name. Yeah.
Absolutely. What was that thing I was looking at? Oh, this.
What is that? Is that a symptom of some kind of psychosis, or?
I think so. I think so. It comes from extreme entitlement or a feeling of entitlement, you know, where you think that you can just, you know, if your way is not gotten, then you can complain and get your way somehow, you know. I don't know where it comes from. I've never had the need or desire to control another fucking person. You know, it's like I haven't bad enough time with just myself. I don't want to have to fucking take on somebody else too. Fuck
No,
that.
I know. It's like, isn't life enough? Like,
I know.
Why are you so concerned with everything that I purchase?
Yeah.
What is the concern? And then I think of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and you know, the guys that like to do all the paperwork, you know, and write poems, and I look at it and I'm just like, they're all, I'm gonna say it, they're all Jews. It's
Yeah.
basically like you have to control everything. Why?
Well, a control freak stems from fear. Okay. And
Okay, and so this fear is based on being caught for their past.
it's a fear of the unpredictability. They need to have everything controlled. They can't handle random things happening.
Well, that's
that are outside of
autism,
their control,
right?
unless they right. And it comes from it's like a real base emotional fear. And a lot of times people who are paranoid, and let's face it, that's a very paranoid culture. Continuously paranoia can cause that type of a reflex. Paranoia breeds fear. The fear breeds the need to control, unpredictability. You tend to want to see, with paranoia, you tend to want to see as everything is directed toward you. It's a very egocentric view, so to speak. If that makes sense. I hope it did.
Like your own universe, right?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you can't handle the idea of things happening outside of your control. Basically. Well, I think that's about all I got tonight. Unless the two of you'd like to add something before I go out here tonight.
I'm good. I just want to say,
I would
watch
just
out for all the Karens and Darrens.
Karens and Darrens, you got to be careful of them, man.
And don't ever allow them to get near the presidency.
No. Well, even then, you know, I think more importantly, we need to find out who the puppeteers are. I think those are the people we need to pay more attention to. Who are the puppeteers? We already know who the puppets are. We've seen the puppets. I want to know who's the puppeteer, who's really pulling the strings, who's orchestrating this circus. We'll probably never know. Could be some guy that works as a janitor in an office building in Cleveland named Jorge. might be actually the guy who's running the whole fucking thing, and we'd never be aware of it because these people that are actually behind the scenes running this shit, you'll never know who they are. Never.
It's whichever AI robot that won the war in the last match. And now
Find
the
out
fake
it's that
Jesus
guy.
and everybody is rolling out soon, and we gotta be worried.
Find out it's actually that fucking guy from The Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. He's actually real. That guy with the
I
mustache.
keep
and shit.
having that. I keep having that same vision. Yeah, the guy behind the curtain. It's got to be him. It's got to be him.
Mm.
Same person
Well,
selling you donuts.
so did you see Flat Earth Dave put this out on Twitter? What was it, yesterday? And I thought this was kind of cute. He said, did they land on the moon 1969 to 1972? And here's a little graph. Blue is no, and yellow is no, but in yellow. So I thought that was kind of cool. We're not biased at all, not one bit.
Oh no.
Anyway, I think that's all I've got for this evening. Disclord, thanks for coming up. Roger, everybody who showed up in the chat tonight. Let's take a look over here before we go out and see what our poll ended up at. And it looks like 26%. I'm going to give it another second. If you have not voted in the poll, hurry up and do that. Also, click the like button. And it only takes a second. You can answer in the poll. Right now, I've got 154 votes. And the question was, who will win the 2024 presidential selection? 27% said Donald Trump. 3% said Kamala Harris. And 70% said the international bankers. So just I've got a pretty in tune office. I've got a pretty audience, so to speak. I've got a lot of people here that are heavy duty in tune with reality. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you haven't done it yet, too bad. I'm going to end it. International bankers is now at 70%. That's a good round number. I'm going to end the poll. Oh, boom. There it is.
And then we start the poll called, have you been over at Discord's channel and clicked subscribe yet?
There you go. Go over to Discord. Discord, do you have
It's on the screen. I couldn't write it in the chat.
Can you put your link in the chat? I'll give you a wrench. Hold on a second. You're right here. Hold on a second. Okay, there you go. Now you should be able to put your link over in the chat for the people. So if you do that real quick.
That's happening. That's happening, people.
There you go. So go on over to Disclord's channel, give him a sub. And I think who's got a thing going tonight? Roger Ledwell, who was up here earlier. He's got a show going on. Let me see. Let's see. Yes, it did. There it is up there. So go on over to Truth Is Now, All Is Now, Disclord, over to his channel, give him some subs, and get over to Roger Ledwell's channel too. I don't think he gave us a
I have the link to that's to the panel. Oh yeah, I got the other link to the show.
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna go over here and bug the shit out of my wife and give her grief because that's what I do the best. And Forever Flowers, thanks for coming up. It was good to see you tonight. We also had we had some good people up here tonight. I think it was a pretty good stream. So we'll see you all next time right here on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Don't forget, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey, and just stay away from your fucking doctor. We'll just leave it at that. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I've been